It's good.
All right, so we can just start it whenever and just do our live thing. 'Cause that's how you start every video, and it's like we're not live. Maybe someday. Wait, we have a Jarrell. We took care of it.
Yep. We got a replacement Jarrell. There was no faith in you. We didn't have faith in you.
I felt that was a creative solution.
He doesn't get it.
He's like, I don't look like that.
No.
My eyes are clear.
Said we didn't have faith in him.
Oh yeah.
Did you see it?
Yeah, have faith
In him.
Is it say in me?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Well, give me my Jarrell. I think this was very good. Look at that.
Yeah, that's a good Jarrell.
Yeah. I mean, look.
Solid Jarrell.
I can't even tell the difference. It's like I'm looking at a picture.
Dude, in a mirror.
Can
How
you
does
not
that
hear
make you feel? Does it like make you
Try your other
uncomfortable?
Why is it this one now?
I don't know. It switches. Just does what it wants. Don't question it.
Mm-hmm.
It is what it is. So how long has it been?
Oh,
It's been like longer than a month.
over a month.
Because the last time we talked, it was before the expansion came out.
Oh yeah, that's right.
I have to do my nerd voice because
Then we took a
your brother's friend or whatever, or your friend thinks that I'm like a total like dweeb.
Dude, speaking of that, Julie goes.
I'm a dweeb.
She goes. There was a poll that asked some people what they would prefer to watch, The Office or the other one,
Parks and Rec.
Big Bang Theory.
Oh, Big Bang Theory. Oh.
61% said they'd prefer to watch The Big Bang Theory. I said what?
Really?
The Office is so much better.
What? Ryan started the fire. Yeah.
So what's funny is we just started watching it again.
Yeah.
And we're at the episode where Toby's leaving to go to like Costa Rica or whatever.
Uh-huh.
And so he has an exit interview. And he's like sitting there, he's like, who do you like? But he's like, Holly comes in and Pam comes in. He's like, so he has to read his questions. And instead of saying it like, who do you think you are? You know, he's like, who do you think you are? Like trying to ask it. And I'm just like, God, this is so good. Like, I love it. Like, it's so great. And
It's
then
a good show.
Holly thinks that Kevin is slow. And so, I don't know, the whole thing, it's
great.
every episode is just so good. I love it. I've never seen The Big Bang Theory. I've seen parts of it, and I'm like,
I've seen like little, I don't know, 3 minutes.
Not that
stints,
interesting to me.
And then I changed the channel.
Pretty funny.
But funnier than The Office?
It's different.
Okay, Jarrell.
Just put
We'll take the new Jarrell.
What do you think, Jarrell? I think
it's The Office
I
is
think
the greatest show
better.
ever.
Oh, Jarrell, Jarrell
See?
agrees.
Gets it. Gets it.
This is nice. Now we can.
Yeah, now we got
we could
new
just-
Jarrell.
We got a
And we have
fourth.
voices. Yeah, we have a fourth
Yep.
person right here.
Yep. Ridiculous.
So good. This is high quality
It
entertainment
is.
right
It
here.
is. It is.
This
high
should be like,
quality.
we should just do this and be like, hi, how are you doing? And that's the show.
Yeah.
You know that would probably get more views and
Shit
more
ton.
likes, like
Shit
because
ton.
people are
Than
like, they
Jarrell?
just draw faces on a paper and they just do that.
Yeah.
Just do
It
the
would.
voices.
We'll just get a popsicle
Like we just
stick.
hold up popsicle sticks
Yeah.
to the side of our face and talk like normal.
With this, it's like you could have yours because this is legit you. You just put it up.
Or we just like hold up, we make like circles and do like from South Park and
Yeah.
pretend we're Canadians.
Yeah.
Like make it so their mouth
Yeah.
moves.
But that's actually starting to get to like a creative thing.
Yeah.
I was saying like if you just literally got 3 pieces of paper and like did this in front of the screen
Yeah.
with the camera or whatever.
Have you seen Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared on YouTube before?
It sounds familiar.
Derek introduced me to it.
Okay.
It's old. And it was like a British cartoon series, kind of like Sesame Street. And like every episode is themed. And the episodes are only like a couple minutes long.
Mm-hmm.
But like they always spiral out of control and turn like real dark. You just got to watch it.
Okay.
It's really way too hard to describe
Yeah.
and explain. But the whole thing is like a subliminal message for like we watched another YouTube video where this guy like breaks it all down. And like the dude breaks down like a bunch of different stuff too.
Well, there was like this
on
show
YouTube.
that I just saw that was like a kid show like that predated like Nickelodeon or whatever, and it was like these bunch of kids or whatever, and they like try to send him a message like type of thing. It's like, yeah, that's right, kids, you got to be careful because Russia's gonna come and attack us. And it was
No.
like, yeah, like it,
No.
it was so good.
The
And
commies are gonna get you.
yeah, the commies are gonna get you. And then like, but I think that's how slime was introduced. Like it was like the story about how slime from Nickelodeon it started on that show or whatever.
Okay.
And so,
I think I remember what you're talking about.
It's so funny how like bad it was.
Yeah.
Like,
You ever go back and watch like Salute Your Shorts or Hey Dude from
Stupid
Nickelodeon?
Shorts, I totally forgot about that.
Yeah. Camp on Awana, we hold you in our heart.
What's
And that one.
all that? Oh, that was like the SNL for kids, right? Like they did
No.
skits?
All that.
That's
All
what I'm
that
saying.
was SNL.
That's what I'm
for
saying.
kids.
SNL for that's what I was. Yeah.
A lot of the people from those shows. No.
Only
no.
Kenan Thompson went to be like on SNL. He was on that show. Him and
Yeah, but then,
that's where they
dude,
did
had
like
lots
Good
of great
Burger.
people. Yeah, Good Burger, home of the Good Burger.
They had Keenan and Kel, obviously,
Keenan and Kel.
which came from.
Then you
that.
had Lori Beth Denberg with more vital information for your everyday life.
Yep. I remember
I know
that.
all this shit, dude.
Yeah.
Then you had Pierre Escargot.
Yep.
They put a toiletry in my bag, and then they put the poop in my bag with it.
Yep.
Like random stupid shit. Do you remember that drill?
No.
You don't remember
I
Pierre
remember- I
Escargot
remember
from?
Pierre Escargot, yeah. He had like a ducky and like a thing and like
Yeah,
a yellow
and a rain suit,
Was that what it was? A
rain
yellow
jacket
rain
in a
jacket. I remember.
bathtub.
Yeah, you remember he was in a bathtub.
Yeah.
So good.
You got
PS
Oh, that was the
Cargo.
one chick. Who was the younger chick? That
Was
ended
Amanda
up-
Bynes?
Yes,
She
Harriet
started-
the Spy. Yeah,
Yeah.
she was on all that.
Was that Amanda Bynes for
I'm
Harry?
pretty sure.
Because I know that she had her
Pretty
own
sure.
show, like the Amanda Bynes show,
The Amanda Show.
or whatever it was.
That's
Yeah,
what it was called.
Yeah,
I know these things.
yeah, and
Yeah.
it was like, I can't remember if she started on all that or not before she. got it
Alicia
on.
Silverstone got her start on Hey Dude.
Really?
Yeah, she was the hot blonde on Hey Dude.
I don't remember that.
Do you remember Wild and Crazy Kids?
Which was that the one where they
That
had
was,
to do
like,
the
giant teams of kids in all different colors and like.
They had to do like the competitions and
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah. But
okay.
it was like a shit ton of kids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was the one where they did like the temple thing?
Oh, Legends of the Hidden Temple.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that
dog.
show was
Yeah.
like
Impossible.
I always felt like if I was on it though,
Dude,
I was like,
no.
I could do
You
that. Like
couldn't
I was
do
like,
it.
why are you to just do that? Yeah,
No.
I could.
Guts was like
Yeah, Guts was
the
a-
epitome, and it's so funny because like thinking back, all the people that won were from they were from the Ukraine. Like what?
They trained for it.
They'd go and win the show.
Yeah.
and they were from the Ukraine. Like
They
the
that's what
Ukraine
they
barely
did.
even exists right now, dude.
They
it's
trained
like they're
because
not
they
even
put
sure
all
what
their
they
money
are.
and their resources into training for that.
for the
And then when
Nickelodeon
it went down, when it
television.
went under, they were
They
like,
were
now
under-
what do we do?
They
as
were
a, as a
undercover
country?
Russians.
Yeah.
They were Russians disguised as Ukrainians
Yeah.
winning American
There was
kid
a.
shows.
So speaking of that, you know who the guy?
We dominate in Ukraine.
You know the guy in John Wick 2? He plays like the first scene. He drives in. He goes into the thing. He goes into the room and he's like Truce. You know
Yeah,
that
yeah,
actor
yeah,
guy.
yeah, yeah.
He was in like Armageddon and stuff.
yeah.
So
The
I saw
Russian.
the Russian guy. Yeah, I saw
the
an-
Russian.
I saw an interview with him, and they asked him how he got to start. He's like, well, because I had someone
I've
come to
seen
me,
this.
and he's like, we need you to be Ukraine, and he's like, okay, I can do that. I can do
can
that
do the
accent.
Ukraine.
I can do that accent.
We need you to be
And
Bolivian.
then he's
I
like,
can be
I
Bolivian.
can be Bolivian. And then they, so it was funny. It was like he asked, he's like, oh, can you really do those accents? He's like, no, but they don't know what that sounds like.
It all Russian.
It's all. Yeah. It was so funny.
I've seen
I was dying.
Yeah.
I was like, that's
He's
so
like,
good.
They need you to be guy from Eastern Europe. I the guy from Eastern Europe. Doesn't matter what country.
Yeah.
I'm that guy.
Yeah, he's like, I can do every European accent.
Where are you really from? I am from Russia.
Yeah, that was pretty funny.
You know my cousin, the Beast, or the Machine? The Machine. Yes, my friend, the Machine. Be my cousin, friend. You know when you close. Oh, impersonations, dude.
Yeah.
Accents.
So
great.
fun.
So, did you see the most legendary podcast of all time?
Elon Musk
Yeah,
and Joe Rogan.
yeah.
Yeah.
It was
It
quite the
Interesting.
podcast.
it started off like I felt really good, but then like there was times that I felt that it was like really awkward.
Man,
Like
Joe
when-
Rogan needs to shut the fuck up about magnets, dog.
Yeah.
Like, magnets
Yeah,
are not
every
the-
2 minutes.
They're
But
not.
what about
Have you ever
magnets?
thought of a solution with magnets? You
I-
know, like in the future, do you think that people would want to put magnets around the out? And like,
He's like,
if you just
no.
listen to Elon Musk, like he was trying to tell you, magnets on the surface of the planet are a really bad fucking idea because
Yeah.
it's just chaos.
Yeah.
Like it
I just
doesn't
thought it
work
was
the
funny
way
though
you
because he was
think.
talking about flying cars, and he's just like, "You want a flying car?
Yeah,
Put wheels on a
put
helicopter."
wheels on a helicopters already have wheels.
Yeah.
They're
But I just
flying
thought it was
cars.
funny because he's like, if you go up to the sky, you're gonna have a lot of noise.
Yeah.
But you can go underground and you can make it quiet. And I was
Yeah,
like, that's
and
a
you can
good
fucking
point.
use magnets.
Yeah.
To go really fast underground.
Yeah, he was like, you could use magnets.
Not
and
on the surface.
Joe Rogan's like, magnets?
Magnets.
Somebody, because he was like, can't you do like elevation where you use magnets or whatever?
Levitating. Yeah, he's like
He's
a
like,
maglev. Yeah,
no.
to go really fast in
No,
vacuum
but what he
tubes
was saying was
underground.
like, what he was saying like flying.
I know.
Yeah.
He thinks that
He was
you
like,
can
that would
put, like-
require so much magnetic force that it would probably kill you. Like,
well, the magnets aren't just gonna affect what
Right,
you want it
just
to
right.
affect.
It's
Yeah, that's
gonna
what he was saying.
affect everything.
Like
But-
it's just chaos.
But
It's
then
not
there
even
were times when
organized.
like Joe would ask him a question like, you know, when did you know that like you were like different or whatever? He's like, when I was about 5 or 6.
When did you know you had autism?
Yeah,
Like-
pretty much. Yeah.
When were you
when
diagnosed
did you
with
find out
autism?
You were on the
Basically.
spectrum. And then he was saying,
Oh,
he's
you
like,
thought you were crazy back in the day.
Yeah, he's
they
like-
probably would have locked you in a fucking
he's like,
room.
I thought I was insane. He's like, I just thought it was strange. He's like, what do you mean? Like, how'd you know? He's like, I don't know. I just look at people and be like, that's strange. I was like, that's so weird. Like,
that is autism at its finest.
But then,
that's
like-
super high functioning.
yeah. But
That's what it
my
is.
biggest like gripe with it is like everything they talked about in that podcast, everything people want to talk about is like literally the 5-second piece when he didn't even inhale, when he took that drag
dude.
off that.
It didn't even phase me. I
Joint.
was stoned watching it.
Yeah.
Like
But no,
out
but
of
it's
my
not-
mind and was like, man, that wouldn't get me high right
It's
now.
not even
I'm
about
not
that, like,
surprised he's not that fucked
When you
up.
like inhale like a cigar and immediately let it out, like that's what he did. He didn't breathe it in. He like literally had the smoke
So
in
you-
his mouth.
He's trying to pull a Clinton for him, okay? I get it.
I'm not trying to pull a Clinton. I'm
I
just
did
saying
not
they-
inhale.
the ads made it look like I don't care about that. I'm just saying like all the headlines and stuff. They
Dude,
made
all
it
I
seem like
thought-
he was like ripping from a bong. It's
Dude,
like he
they need to
smoked
make
weed,
the
and
fucking
it's like he
the
barely-
gangsta meme where the fucking shit falls down and fucking the doobie fucking goes in his mouth.
Yeah.
Thug life.
Honestly,
dude.
when that happened, it didn't even phase me. I was like, who cares? Like whatever.
And then
but-
he's like
but
getting
then
messages
everything,
from,
yeah.
from friends in the middle
Yeah.
of the pot. What are you fucking doing? Like,
Yeah, why are you doing this? Well,
why are you messaging me?
you have
because
to
I
imagine
hit
like
fucking,
he's like the head, like the front of like a lot
I mean,
of companies.
Just the
Yeah.
opening statement from Joe. Can you even do this for
What?
PR reasons?
Yeah.
Like you have
Stockholder,
stakeholders.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, what's gonna happen? They're gonna fire him?
No, dude. Like
No, but the thing
the
is,
dude
that
literally does whatever he wants. He'll just go make 20,000 hats and sell them for $10 million. Like what the fuck, dude? I need to make a badass hat.
I like when he talks about the Flimbers, like it's a bad idea. Like you
Yeah.
shouldn't do it.
Yeah.
But like I told people don't buy this,
Yeah,
but they
yeah.
did.
Somebody goes, I saw a picture and it was like Rainbow Road from fucking Super Mario or
Kart.
Mario Kart
Yeah, Mario
64
Kart.
or whatever.
Mhm.
And Elon, like it was a tweet at Elon Musk, this is the future. And he's like, why the fuck do you think we put a car in space?
Yeah.
Rainbow Road.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, that's the thing too. It's like he'll get into like discussions with people on Twitter, and Joe's like, "You can't do that.
Yeah.
like you need to stop." You're like,
Right.
I don't care."
the error of his ways. I
Right.
mean, let him be him.
But the thing is,
That's
like
what makes
people
him
hold
unique.
him. Like someone said something, like he told someone to like f off or whatever, and someone's like, "I can't believe you just said that." He's like, "Why? What makes me different than you?"
Yeah, what makes
Why is
anybody
he-
any different?
Yeah. And I was like, I agree with that.
You shouldn't treat them differently
No.
just because they're
Right.
fucking way smarter than you.
Yeah. They're just
They
another.
also lack
they're just
every
another
social
human.
skill that you probably exceed at,
Yeah.
so you're even.
Yeah, it was. There was definitely times when it was like just socially awkward to watch.
Yeah.
Like, oh, this is cringe. But
That's what talking to somebody with
Yeah.
autism. I'm not even like in the literal definition.
But I
like,
don't think he's
people
ever
don't-
been like really diagnosed.
Probably
with
not,
autism.
and I think there's a shitload of people with autism of different like grades
Yeah. Well,
out
it's a
there.
spectrum.
Yeah, the spectrum, gradients of a spectrum. Yeah, that's what I was getting at.
Oh.
It was implied.
Okay.
Thanks, guy.
I thought you meant like grades, like the guy
No,
like
the
in
gradient
fifth
of
grade,
a scale.
the guy
on
in
a
fifth
spectrum.
grade has autism. Like,
No,
okay, yeah,
it's not a
but
level.
Elon
It's
Musk
not a level
graduated,
on
I'm
a spectrum.
sure.
It's a grade, a
Right.
gradient. Yeah.
Yeah, like how a color spectrum works.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. You get it. You get
But
it.
the way you said it, that was just like I thought it was like
It was
K
implied.
12.
It was implied.
Yeah, my bad.
Yeah.
Whatever.
So carrying on.
Moving on.
Moving on.
I got it.
You got it? Did you get it? Or
What
did
about you,
need-
Jarrell?
Are you glad? Jarrell? Jarrell?
Yeah, I got
you
it.
got what,
Damn
oh, okay. Jarrell got
Just
it.
you.
I'm the only
Jarrell.
one. All right, just
everybody
me.
else got it. Yeah. But you would be surprised at how many people fall onto that. Just like Asperger's, like alone.
Well, that's the thing.
That's
like
like
they-
the most like that's like the bottom end where you're just mainly socially awkward.
Right.
You don't have the
I met it.
you don't
yeah,
have the debilitating like social
Sure.
things.
Yeah, I
And
met
then
a
you
guy
don't
that
also-
I'm like 100% convinced he has Asperger's.
Yeah.
But he works
Yeah,
a
yeah,
job.
no,
He's
they-
totally fine. Like does
they-
nothing.
day to
But
day,
just like when you like try to talk
you
to him,
talk
it's
to
like
Yeah, they like almost get nervous.
Yeah.
And like can't figure out what the fuck to say or
Right.
do.
Get-
So they just panic.
It's like people.
Might be anxiety, but then come to find out in like 10 years
Anxiety will
like
be
anxiety
on it,
is
yeah.
a form of autism.
Extreme
Extreme anxiety.
Well, and that's one of my
or
biggest
social
like
anxiety disorder.
one of my
at the
biggest things
minimum.
are like, why are we diagnosing more people with autism today than ever before? It's like because we're classifying things.
because we
as
know how to
autistic.
identify it.
Well, and we're also like you
differentiate
said,
it.
we're classifying a lot more stuff as
Yeah.
it. So it's like on the whole scale, I don't think it's anything more than what's ever been.
No, the
It's
figures
just
have
we're-
always been wrong,
Right.
and
Or they were allocated in other things. Oh, he's just weird. He has Asperger's. Like,
or we figured out how to better like test for things, and
Yeah.
our tests have become more precise, and the thing you might have been relying on for old tests is like
Right.
irrelevant to what
Which is
you're
pretty
actually
standard.
testing for. And so with the new test, they're like, oh shit, everybody's autistic, or everybody's got some
maybe the
varying
tests are
degree
too
of
good. Well,
depression or something, or susceptible to it, like different shit like that, mental disorders.
when I
are-
think that every single human alive has some form of mental, not necessarily mental disorder, but like I was talking to my sister the other day and I made a comment. I'm like, there's definitely times I think of things that make me laugh, like externally.
Yeah.
But I know if I were to say that to a group of people, they'd be like, what's wrong with
What
you?
the fuck is wrong?
And I'm
with
like, I
you?
wouldn't act on any of these things.
Yeah,
Or it's
yeah.
not necessarily like anything like demented or like
Right.
torturing cats or anything like that.
Yeah.
But there's just like
30 dogs later.
What did you say?
It's mostly just racist.
No, not like that. Like, but just like stuff that's like
Give us an example.
Well, I don't, because then people
You're
will be
amongst
like,
friends.
What the heck?
You're amongst
yeah,
friends.
and a video
no
camera.
judgment. No judgment here.
In this room, you are
Dude,
completely
let me think.
safe.
I'll give you one of my examples of like crazy shit that I think about.
Like, so an example kind of would be like if you see
Just give me
people
the
like
tamest one.
on the side of the road, you know, like
yeah, and you just
like,
imagine veering off and running them all over,
or
and then
something
right back
happens
on the
to-
road
well,
and
yeah,
carry on with
something
your day.
right, exactly.
Who
maybe
doesn't
not, maybe
think
not
like
me
that?
like running them over, but
Dude.
like me thinking like when I see a plane, for example, and I'm just like staring at like
Just
blow
think
up,
about
blow
it
up, blow up,
blowing
blow
up
up,
in the
blow up,
middle
blow
of
up,
the
and then I
sky.
pass by, I'm like, it didn't blow up. you
Yeah,
know? But not that
exactly.
I really want it to, but
Or
it's
do
just,
you?
I don't know.
I don't know.
It does- but
I'm
that's
pretty
the
sure you do.
That's why we're friends, dog.
That's part of the mental
Because I'm
issue,
also
you know?
wondering, man, that'd be crazy if that plane
Yeah.
just fell out of the sky right
Right.
now. Like, holy shit,
Whoa,
what a
who saw
story.
that?
Like,
Yeah.
I did, and I got a story to tell everyone now.
Speaking of which,
Yeah.
get this: driving down the road, yeah, no, I
Yeah.
agree.
Like,
Like,
be able to get your phone out.
I was on the 10 coming
Yeah.
up from
Oh.
Tucson, going
Yeah.
to do a podcast.
Yeah.
Big ass fucking plane flying over, and I'm just thinking, man, I ride on that plane all the fucking time, man.
whoa,
Woo!
that could have been
Dodged
me.
a bullet there.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then you turn it into that
I'm a
could have been me.
survivor.
I'm an inadvertent survivor, man. The 1 week I chose to not go on, and it just gets exaggerated.
I
over the
thank
years.
God so much.
One
for-
time I was on a plane that crashed and I lived, man. Like it
Yeah.
gets so over exaggerated.
I was parachuting down on the over the 10. I was on my way up to do
Big
a
fish
podcast.
story.
I was like, so why were we on a plane? I don't know, man. I can't.
It
keep
was
straight.
faster, man.
Yeah.
I got way too
Have you ever
big.
tried to travel to Tucson? It takes like an hour.
Dude, it takes so long. And people suck at driving, man.
Yeah, that's.
I
the
hate
worst.
motherfuckers.
Oh, so that's an excellent. I'll let you finish, but don't. let me
That goes
forget.
72 in the far left lane when there's 3 lanes.
And it's
the
75.
speed limit's 75, dog.
Yeah.
Like, The only people that should be in the left lane are 80 and above. And even then, like, sometimes I feel a moral obligation if I know it's like the spot on the fucking highway where there's like a shit ton of cops that sit and wait, to do the people that want to go faster a favor, even though they don't know it. They'll hate me. It's like white knighting on the road, you know? Like, listen, man, if I could like get you to pull up here, I'm going to explain to you that this stretch of road always has cops.
Yeah.
So I drive it all the time.
So
I
do
know these
77.
things. So just ride my ass at 80 and they'll just wave us on by, because that ain't worth pulling over.
Right. Especially when there's a line of them.
Yeah. I was just going with the flow of traffic, officer. Like, if everybody's going 85,
right,
you have to go 85.
It's a bigger risk to have you go
75. Yeah. I mean, and cops know that shit.
Right.
So they're not going to fault you for it.
I agree.
They can't also pull over 10 people at a time, so they have to kind of pick one, and that'd be fucked up if it was you.
Yeah. And then you could just say, what about the other 9 cars?
What about the other 9 cars I was riding right behind, and be like, touche, and let you go.
Yeah, no, I definitely that like in Phoenix here we have like what are they, like 4 or 5 lanes like on our freeways and stuff.
5.
Yeah, 5.
I think they're about 5.
5 and an HOV.
5 and 4, yeah, an HOV. But HOV is only HOV.
I don't know. The 202 over here is 5 and an HOV, so it's 6 on each side. It's a 12-lane highway.
Yeah,
that's crazy. That's not even the biggest one.
If I'm going like, so speed limit 65, if I'm going like 70, between 70 and 75, because that's usually what the flow of traffic is doing.
Yeah, 5 over.
I'll get into like the middle one or whatever,
Yep.
and just let the people that want to go past me, whatever, you know?
Yeah.
But what's frustrating is you even have people in the middle lane that are like, I'm going to go 60 miles an hour.
Yeah.
And it's like, dude, there's 2 other lanes for you.
Yeah.
Like, I get it. Don't be in the first lane because you have merging traffic or whatever.
Right,
but
exactly. You don't want to be that
line.
dick that doesn't let the person in.
Right.
You
Well,
know?
trust me, he wasn't going fast enough. People could get in front of this guy.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that's, I don't know. I just, people like, with driving especially, I think there needs to be some like refresher stuff.
Dog, there's etiquette. There's written rules.
Right. But that's what
that
I'm saying.
everyone needs
like,
to know. But then
people don't learn the
what we're
etiquette.
talking about is the etiquette.
Right.
And that's like a choice. It's like in golf.
Yeah.
There's etiquette. There's etiquette of the road. Like, truck drivers that get into the fucking far left lane with a semi on a 3-lane fucking interstate are assholes.
Yep.
Like, fuck off. You have 2 other lanes.
Right.
Like, you clearly don't go as fast. You take longer to brake. Just utilize those lanes. You got a lane to pass.
Yeah.
You don't need to come all the way over to the left.
Well, and
one.
that's like what's frustrating too, is like when you are in like that left lane and then you have the one diesel truck in the middle lane and another one behind him.
Yeah.
And you're coming up quick and he's like, this is a perfect time for me to pass this truck.
Yep.
And he goes over and you have to slam on your brakes and there's no one behind you.
Yeah.
Like, you could have waited till after me.
Yep.
And it would have been fine. Or go in the right lane and pass him, you know? Yeah.
On the way here, there was 3 different times that semis wanted to move to the left lane, and I sped up and fucking cut in there. I was
That's
like,
dangerous,
not before me, motherfucker. I don't give a shit if you got your blinker on or not.
Yeah.
I'm always ready to die, dog. Bring it.
That's my
I'll
secret.
I'll live.
I'm
dude.
always ready to die.
When you're always ready to die, you're never gonna die.
Yeah.
Like, that's just fucking
the second
how it
you're
is.
just like, I don't want to die today. Bam.
Bam,
Plane
dude.
falls out of the sky and blows up your house.
Exactly.
And
Exactly. When you start fearing death is when death comes.
Yeah.
He knows. He can smell the fear.
Yep.
It's
So
not-
another like, I don't even know what this is. This isn't etiquette. I don't even know if this technically falls into like driving laws or whatever. But for me recently, one thing that's been really annoying that I notice is you have people that get in the left turn lane
Yeah.
and you're like in that lane going by them, you know? Like,
Yeah.
so you're going through traffic, they're turning.
Yep.
And they do this maneuver where they turn.
Try and take it out wider than it is.
And
then-
it's like they're in a Prius. And then like, so they're coming into me and I have to like swerve out of the way and I'm like, what the heck, dude? Like,
yeah.
you
I
don't
haven't had
need,
that lately.
I don't know. I've noticed it a lot the last couple weeks.
You get that here because of the leading green arrows, but in Tucson you got to remember they're trailing left arrows.
But why do they want to go? I just don't get that.
Well, I don't run into it because of the arrows though. Like, I'm sure I would run into that, but I don't get the opportunity because we have trailing turn arrows. Remember?
Yeah.
Like, you get the green light to go straight, and then once that stops, then
You get the
turn
arrow.
left. Yeah.
So
but
it's
here it's
after.
leading left.
Yeah, the arrows start out.
Yeah.
Wasn't Gilbert like that
Gilbert was like
They
that
just
when we
switched it
first
recently.
moved there, and then our first moved here.
It's kind of hard. Like, there's a couple of intersections in Tucson with leading green arrows,
Yeah.
but not very many. And it's like one of those all or nothing things. Like, you pretty much got to like do it all, and everyone thinks of it like that, because then you're just causing traffic jams. If you
Yeah.
have like, oh, this light's leading and this one's not, you know,
Right.
because then people start pulling out into the intersection
Why
when
don't
they're
you
not
just wait at the
supposed to.
intersection until you get a green light? That's my
I like the
philosophy.
trailing, the one when it comes after, because it forces everyone to a stop during the turns, and then it gives people the time that if they get caught out in the intersection to clear out
Yeah.
while everyone's stopped.
Yeah, that's true. I think one thing too, though, is that most of our intersections don't allow you to turn after that green arrow, so you have a red arrow the whole time. So you can't go out in the intersection after a light. Like most of
Yeah,
our
but what I'm
intersections-
saying is, like, if you got the green arrow and you get trapped out in the intersection and then the lights turn green to go straight, then you're kind of just caught out there all the way until they stop going forward.
Yeah, but there's nothing to stop you from finishing your turn because they have a red light. You
They'll
have a
be
green
coming
arrow,
forward.
but they have a red light.
For the most part, though, like the arrow will turn red before they get a green.
Yeah,
So people.
they don't get a green arrow or even a yellow arrow while they're going forward. So
right,
they
right,
have to
right.
stop.
There's
fully.
always the occasion that you could get stuck out there, though. If you're like
Yeah.
the guy that's like trying to make that green arrow and you don't completely make it, and you're like kind of cocked out there.
Oh,
in
I
a-
see what you're
in a
saying.
red-
Like
the
it goes
arrow
yellow
turned
and you're
red,
still in the intersection. You're like you go
Yeah.
out into the middle and then it turns red.
and then
you're
they
like
start
crap.
coming, and you're
Yeah.
like
I
stuck there.
I can see that. I don't think that happens often because I think, like you said, everyone knows.
Yeah.
Once that yellow goes red,
Throw
I'm
in some
done.
trailing green arrows in there, and
And
it'll
just
fuck
confuse
everybody,
everybody.
up. It will.
Yeah.
Every other light.
Well,
Yeah.
I think that's why Gilbert went to the leading green arrows is because they did have trailing, and I actually really liked it because I always find myself getting to left-hand turn as like the light turns green,
Yeah.
and so then I have to sit there and wait.
Dude, it's such a
for
long
the whole
wait.
cycle versus the trailing one. I'm like, doesn't matter. You guys can go. I made it
Right.
here. I get a turn right after you guys.
So when I like go down into Tucson out of my little corner, the first main road I hit's it like when I'm going home, it's nice because they have it set up so there's a lead green arrow and a trailing green arrow because there's so much
Yeah.
traffic that they want to keep that like constantly clear. So
Right.
you get a green arrow, a green light, and then another green arrow.
Yeah.
All for the left
I think
turn.
at the very least, what I would like to see here is to give you a yellow light after it's like your leading arrow. Because there's so many times, like I'll get there, it goes red, and they're going, it's still green, and then that side stops, and I'm sitting at a red arrow. It's
Yeah.
perfectly wide open, and I'm like, this is stupid. Give
Right.
me that yellow thing so I can just
Right.
roll. You know,
Fucking traffic.
traffic, man.
I know.
Yeah.
That's what happens when you live in big cities.
It's about to
It's
get
the only
worse
thing
too.
you gotta
Both
bitch about.
snowbirds.
Oh yeah, we got snowbird traffic that's about to come down.
Oh, I know. It's even worse in Tucson, dog.
Yeah.
Way worse.
So I was in Tucson a couple weeks ago for a meeting that I had down there.
Oh, yeah?
I can't remember what road I was on, but it's garbage, man.
Yeah.
Like, we went to this restaurant. I don't remember the name of it now, but it was like a breakfast lunch place.
Man, like, I know every square inch of that place. Explain it better.
Well, let me find it then.
No, just like tell me what it was, what it looked like. What area were you in? Were
It
you by
looked-
the condo?
it
Like
looked-
by the condo?
I don't think so because it was off the freeway.
Okay.
I'll find the name of it.
Who was it that you met with?
We met with what's it, Sunstate, something like that. But it wasn't near them because we went to lunch before because we got there a little bit early because we weren't familiar with like the area of Tucson, so we were like, well, let's go there and we'll find like some lunch and stuff, and then like whatever. So let's see. So we met with them on Grant Road, so it must have been. Man, I don't remember.
like Grant and the 10?
Yeah, Grant and the 10 is where we met them, but I think we had to get back
It's
on
kind
the
of over
freeway.
by the condo, dog.
Is it?
Yeah.
I thought it was more like
Grant
that
and
was more
Campbell
down.
was where the condo was.
Yeah. I don't know. But anyway, I'd never been to like that side of, I knew Tucson, like the roads were bad,
Yeah.
everything was run down or whatever. And it really like opened my eyes. I was like, dang it, this is
They're constantly
this is crazy.
It's always under
redoing them.
construction, too.
Yeah, constantly redoing all that stuff.
Which is weird. Like, why is it that the roads just get so bad?
Because they don't have any freeways to keep the big trucks off the surface streets.
So it was Cappy's Breakfast Cafe.
No.
Shout out to Cappy's.
Fuck that place. Never heard of it.
It was decent food. It was decent.
It ain't no Mimi's Cafe, dog.
Like a mom and pop
Yeah,
kinda
well,
shop.
Mimi's Cafe. It was like a mom and pop.
Not
kinda
Mimi's
thing.
Cafe.
I was
Fuck
like,
that.
Mimi's Cafe
Why am
is
I
a
thinking?
chain.
I always fucking think that, dude. It's Blue Willow. The Blue Willow in Tucson's legit.
Was it good?
Best eggs Benedict ever.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, it was just, I don't know. I didn't like being there. I felt unsafe. Like even the parking lot, like it was just run down. There was also like this gun and like knife store that was also like a pawn shop
Yeah.
thing, and I was like, this is like the weirdest.
It's like a
weirdest
weird
thing
little
ever.
turn down there.
Yeah.
Like it's kind of like where the 10 starts turning back to go east, so you get that like little bend.
Yeah.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah,
Don't
it
go
was,
too far south on
it
that
was
side
crazy.
of the 10.
No, yeah, we didn't want to.
That's a little sketch.
We were meeting with a client, a potential client, and then we got there about an hour earlier. We're like, well, let's do lunch beforehand, you know.
Yeah.
I'm gonna run to the bathroom though, real quick.
All
'Cause
right, dog.
you guys can.
Me and J-Ro will shoot the shit.
Yeah, just talk.
What's up, dog?
Let's go now.
Not a whole lot. It's always like the awkward pause in the JRE too. People always gotta take a piss.
People have to leave.
What the fuck? You
Yeah.
just gotta take a piss. Pussy, hold your bladder.
Yeah, did you see the one with Russell Brand? And they was giving him that super coffee or something like that.
Oh,
and he
yeah.
started freaking out and like he had to go to the bathroom.
Yeah. The caveman coffee, is that what he was giving him?
Maybe I can't remember. Some
Probably.
exotic stuff or whatever.
With the MCT oil and all that crazy shit. He adds like a million things to it.
Yeah, that's pretty funny.
I don't drink coffee, so I wouldn't know anything about that.
Yeah, I drink some coffee in the mornings typically.
Not me. I'm not up in the morning. Fuck that.
You're lucky.
I guess. My schedule is like completely different than everybody else's, so it's when I'm
Yeah.
awake, everyone's fucking working.
Well, you never get used to it. I mean, it's been like 7 years. I've been consistently like having to get up super early, and it's still just like the most difficult thing.
Yeah.
I hate it.
I'd be in that same boat too, dude. Waking up at 10 is like the perfect
Yeah.
time.
I wish I could just wake up when
I feel like
I was ready to wake up.
I could go to sleep at any time in the night, and I'll always wake up at 10. Like 10 is like
Yeah.
the time, like, and if I sleep past 10, I feel like shit.
Mm.
Like I slept too much or wasted the day away.
10 a.m.
10 a.m.
That's what time you wake up?
Yeah.
Day's already half over.
I
at
know.
that point.
It's almost lunchtime.
Nah, dog.
When it's 10 a.m., it's like, oh, only an
go
hour
to bed
till
at, go to
lunch.
bed at like 3:30 and wake up at 10.
That's not bad.
Get like 6
Yeah.
and a half, 7 hours of sleep. I mean, when you're not doing too much during the day, besides beating the fuck out of Spider-Man, yeah, you just don't get too exhausted, you know?
You beat that in 2 days?
It's like
How?
2.5.
You did 100%
That's
story in that, or
crazy.
100% of the game in that time, or you
Yeah.
just did the story stuff?
Well, I mean, there's like a couple little things that I
Side
have
missions and
left.
stuff?
The science missions, some of
Oh, the
those are,
research centers?
Yeah, the research centers. The ones with the drones are kind of hard. Or stealth missions that are timed are pretty hard too. I don't have all of those done, so I don't have the very last skin for 100% completion. But I've done all of the demon hideouts, all the Fisk hideouts,
Yeah.
and beat the entire story.
So I kind of like what I did is like when I first got to like the open world thing, which is pretty quick into it. Like you only do a couple little story things where you go to like Fisk Tower or whatever.
Yeah.
And do that whole thing. I went and I was like, I'm gonna unlock the whole map.
Yeah.
And then I did that, and so I was like,
Great minds.
I saw like all the thing. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna grab all the backpacks.
Great minds.
So I did all the backpacks.
Yeah.
And then so I was like, oh, sweet. You know, like that was pretty cool. That was a lot easier than I thought it was going to be. You know?
Yeah.
And then I started doing the story, and it was like, now there's these landmarks. I'm like, oh,
Yep.
crap. I'm going to do all the landmarks. And so I
Yeah.
did that. And then I was like, got to the research center. I'm like, dang it. And that's where I'm kind of at right now is like, I'm going and doing like all the research things. I just fought Shocker in the bank. Like that was
Yeah,
like
yeah.
the
That's a good-
last story that I just
Dude,
finished.
The main story, like the
It's
cinematic like fight
all of it,
scenes
yeah.
and like
like the
The
high
whole
speed
story
chases,
of it is
I think are the
insane.
best crimes in my opinion. Like it's so fun for me, those high speed chases.
Where you gotta like
'Cause
swoop after them.
I
and
always
hit
like what I
triangle.
do is like I just get right above them, like when they're like right there.
Yeah.
And then I press L3, so I start the dive, and then right when I get close, I hit triangle, and it's just web zip to it, and I'm like, oh, that was so cool.
How do you what's your combat style? Because
It's like
my buddy's was completely different than mine.
I attack like 3 to 4 times, and then I dodge, perfect dodge, because then you like.
Okay, so you utilize perfect dodges a lot.
Yeah, if there's a lot of people grouped up, I
Yeah.
triangle to a guy out of it to kind of break him up,
Yeah.
fight him down, and then dodge bullets and stuff, and then triangle to the next guy.
Yeah.
And I try to incorporate a lot of throwing stuff at people, because just that whole animation where you grab something, spin around,
Okay.
especially when people are close to you and you grab like a manhole or something,
Yeah.
it knocks them back.
So
and
you
then
use that
bam.
move.
Oh, absolutely.
I beat the entire game and I never once spun anyone around.
Really?
Yeah, no. I do the shoom thing, like where you kept triangling, like doing the web
Yeah.
punch
Mhm.
to shoom to the dudes, and I just kept doing triangle circle finishers over and
Yeah.
over again.
I wouldn't need that spinning thing like to beat the game. I just think it's fun. Another one
yeah.
that I just learned is
My
like
buddy was like, "Dude, you don't grab anything and throw it at people." I'm like, "No, dude,
It's such a
not
Spider-Man
Not
thing,
enough time. Like,
You know what I
dude,
mean?
I'd
Like-
like stealth kill the shit out of them and then just finisher everyone.
yeah,
Because I was using what ultimate do you use? Like suitability.
the suitability. I've been using ever since I got Spider Bro. I've been using that because he just like stuns everyone essentially. Like he electrifies them, they fall to the
Yeah.
ground, and I just run around and beat up everybody.
Like the one I use is like the second one you get the whole game.
The one
The
that,
web.
the one where you
The
spin
massive
around.
web,
and it's
yeah.
So someone I was talking to today, like I found out they played the game. We were talking about it a little bit earlier,
Uh-huh.
and that's the one they use. He said
Yeah.
you could take out an entire group,
Dude, 20
like,
guys
instantly.
and you just do it and they all get webbed, and the strong ones that can't die from the webbing or whatever,
Yeah.
they're still around, but it fully fills up all 3 of your focus bars.
Mm.
So then you just run over there and do finishers on everybody else, or knock them up in the air if they're
Yeah.
melee guys, or take out the big guys.
I'll try that one
It's good.
because I haven't done that one. I like Spider Bro because it would stun everybody, and he would fly around with you and continuously do stuff.
The end bosses, you don't really get opportunities to use those type of moves though
Yeah,
too
it's-
often.
Well, even like
'cause it's
the
all
shocker and
just-
stuff though, like you have to wait until you can
Yeah.
throw something at him. And
What
then,
I'm getting at is you just use like rudimentary abilities. You're
Yeah.
mainly like swinging around and trying to like do specific moves to
Right.
get that interrupt or whatever, so you
Yeah.
can make them vulnerable.
I definitely think the suit powers and stuff are all for like the crimes and the
Yeah.
gangs and
Yeah.
stuff. But yeah, I did like the side quest where there was that other Spider-Man guy that was like fighting people, and you teamed up with him for like a second. Like
Yeah.
that was pretty funny.
So I'm gonna try and not do spoilers for
Yeah.
the game.
Don't do spoilers for the story. Like someone ruined something earlier, like with,
one thing that's
with
really
Doc
cool,
Ock, and I was like,
because
"Don't,
yeah, I
like,
won't tell you
ruin
anything
it."
about that. But what was cool was somebody was like, "Does it tie into the cinematic universe in any way?" Like, and at first glance, no. But once you play far enough in, it is.
Well, and that's the thing. Like, so there's definitely been a couple comments. Like, you can see Doctor Strange's house because, like, I took or his place or whatever. There's the Avengers Tower, and then when you go to the Wakanda embassy, it's funny because he makes that comment. He's like, "I heard that Chitala guy was bit by a radioactive panther." He's like, "I'll stick to the radioactive spider." And
Yeah.
it's like his little like comments, are just
Yeah,
so
yeah,
funny.
it's
and
great
stuff.
because it's like 25-year-old Spider-Man.
Yeah.
It's like adult Spider-Man.
But like not full adult yet. Like you still see the struggles he's going through with like he has the bills that he has
Right.
to pay and
Well, I was trying to figure out what Spider-Man it was.
oh, I see.
You know what I
Like,
mean?
If it was
Like, is it a
Tobey
Is
Maguire,
it Tobey
a
Maguire
different person?
Spider-Man?
supposed to be
Is it
Tom Holland
the
or
what is it? The Garfield? What's
Andrew
that?
Garfield?
Andrew Garfield
That was
Spider-Man.
the worst one in my opinion.
Which one
It's
was that?
none of those. It's none of those. But it's one that I forgot is coming,
Mm.
and it didn't occur to me until a certain point in the game, and then I was like, "Oh shit!"
Oh, so it's the Ultimate Spider-Man with all the Spider-Mans in the world? Is it that one? Like
Kinda,
the animation one or whatever?
kinda, yeah. Ties into that.
Nice. That movie looks pretty cool too.
Yeah, multiple Spider-Mans.
Yeah.
What is that? What that's called? Is the
I
Ultimate
think it's the
Universe?
Ultimate Spider. Maybe the Ultimate Universe. I'm not sure.
Well, the Ultimate Spider-Man
Yeah, the
universe.
Ultimate Spider-Man,
Not
yeah.
the Amazing Spider-Man.
No, not the Amazing Spider-Man. But no, like heard this thing earlier that I guess someone made a report that like the new Spider-Man game is like pushing like pro cop or whatever, because like in very early on in the game he makes the comment about Spider Cop, like he's like Spider Cop, like
it's like a thing in
on
the
the
comics,
case.
isn't it?
I don't know, but like they were saying like all he did was push like how cops are great and it's the New York PD of all people and stuff, and it just is so crazy. And he even admitted he's like, I'm only a couple hours in, but how could I continue this with this pro cop like agenda? And I was like, okay, I remember that part. And one, you only work with one person from the police, and she's like, if they find out we're working together, you're on your own.
Yeah.
Like there's no teamwork there.
Yeah.
And then two, she was like, please don't say Spider Cop, and he was doing it more like as like a funny like
old school detective joke.
Yeah, exactly.
So the guy took it completely out of context
and like made this article about how like the new Spider-Man game is like not even worth playing because of this whole like agenda that it's trying to push.
Pandering to cops.
I don't know what it was.
What?
And it didn't make any sense to me either. And I was just like, okay, that really was. If that's what you took from the game, like you completely missed.
You're not a fucking gamer.
Like the point.
Or a Marvel fan, or
Right.
a Spider-Man fan. Or an anything fan, dude.
Yeah,
you
you're
probably just hate life.
You're just a garbage human being.
Yeah,
at that
basically.
point.
If you gotta like misconstrue something that much and take it that far out of context, like what?
Because I think my biggest problem.
He's a goddamn superhero. Obviously, he's friends with the fucking cops.
Yeah, he's not a super villain.
Where do you think he takes them when he's done beating them up?
Yeah,
he doesn't kill them.
Right.
He gives them over to the cops.
Yeah,
yeah. Spider-Man is your friendly neighborhood spider.
Yeah.
And he's friends with the cops too. Like,
but
what
the
an
thing
idiot!
Is like the cops in the game, some of them don't like him, because there's that Jonah Jameson's like radio station or podcast, is whatever. You want to call it.
That's he's the news reporter though. He
retired
Bugle.
from the Bugle in the game so far.
Spoiler alert.
Oh, is that what it?
Yeah, because he commented
all
on it very early on.
That's where he found all that free time to sit there on the little radio show? Okay.
Because he comments like, I remember his going away party and he said he was going to start this radio show. He's like, I never knew it would take off the way it did. Like that's pretty early on in the story. Like he made that comment.
I guess I missed that part.
Yeah, you were just like, gotta beat it. But like I was telling Jarrell.
Spoilers.
No, I'm sorry. I was telling Jarrell though, like it's very easy. Like I'll be like, okay, I'm gonna go to the mission, and then it's like a crime happens. Like, oh, I gotta go save people. Like I can't not save them. And then I'll like after I finish, I'll just be like looking at the scenery and I'll like swinging and like just having fun shooming around.
Yep.
And I'm like, this is so fun.
I intentionally like didn't use fast travel for a while after unlocking it just because I liked shooming around with the webs. Like even if it was 3,000 meters to go, I'd shoom all the way across the city. It was fun.
Yeah. It's especially when you get that web ability where it's like if you hit A, like when you pull to the thing and it
double
boosts you.
Awesome,
or I say A, it's X. Like, but yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean.
I do that too. I thought the right button.
A button.
I had it in my mind because I'd play Xbox more.
Right. Yeah, that was funny too. So today I was talking, like someone overheard me and that person talking about Spider-Man, and they're like, "You have a PS4?" I was like, "Yeah." Like, oh, I thought you were an Xbox guy. I'm like, I have Xbox.
That's not
Switch,
a thing anymore, people.
PS, PC. I'm like, I'm just a gamer.
There's no console war.
No. The people that do are either A, stuck in like high school or whatever, or B, and yeah, I'm gonna say it. You're too poor to be able to afford all the consoles.
If you didn't say it, I was gonna say it. Like, there's only two things you can be in that situation. Definitely. Yep.
Yeah. So and it's like, yeah, and I have an expensive computer. That
adolescent.
Yeah, whatever.
I know.
I'm an adult.
No big deal. Some people, that's what they fucking buy.
Right. NBD, you know.
I drive a piece of shit car that I'm afraid is going to die one of these days halfway to Phoenix, and I'm going to be stranded in the desert. But, man, I got all that shit, too.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, it's like we don't spend a lot of money on other stuff. Like, a lot of my clothes and stuff are from, like, a year or two ago. Like, I buy, like, the $15 button-down shirts from H&M. They work.
My shirts come in fucking cardboard boxes in the mail with toys, like wrapped in toys. Like,
right?
Like that's where I get the majority of my shirts, or I buy cool space shirts from my brother's company when they have discounts. You know,
right?
Like I can get like 7 shirts when they go on sale.
Well, that's like another thing too.
Shit. He gets paid for it.
Like my T-shirts that I buy, because I don't like branded shirts.
Yeah.
I usually go to Tilly's and get those 2 for $20 shirts.
Yeah.
So for $80, I'm getting 8 shirts.
Yeah, The point is, we bargain and save elsewhere,
So we can do
so that we can
our hobbies
have
and
these
stuff.
cool. Yeah, gaming is our number one hobby.
Right.
If we were into muscle cars and spent 30 grand on a fucking
Right.
Mustang and on parts and shit, and we're rebuilding it, no one would bat an eye. But if we
She's
build,
so bad at this. Sorry. My mom does not know how to text.
Oh, here we go.
So she sent this photo album. Literally, like, how many pictures would you say it was?
Like 100?
Like 100 photos over a text. So every photo, it's like notification.
oh, dude.
So I told her halfway through, I'm like, stop. I'm like, upload them to a single link and just email that, like, send that.
Yeah.
If you have that many photos. And she's like, I didn't know it would work that way. I'm like, how else do you think it would work?
Wow.
So whenever I see a text from her, she has this group thing that she started.
Oh,
that,
dude.
that she
Those
just like.
are annoying.
So that's
Sorry,
why when his
Mom,
was
but
going off too, I'm like, I know
your
who
door
it
in
is.
your
It was
ha-
like
your-
either a dust storm
yeah.
or...
Your
Yeah.
new door in your house looks
Yeah.
looks great on the wall.
Right.
But I don't need to hear what 7 other fucking people think about it too.
Right.
Like, don't add me to a group.
Well, it's not so much that I don't mind it, like, cause like
Our
my-
little 3-man group is fine.
it's kind of enough already.
Yeah.
You're pushing the limits.
Yeah,
there, you know?
yeah.
But it's also 3 people that are like, we don't want our group text to like.
No,
If
it's when
it's
I need to
anything, we need a
convey
full
something to both
conversation.
of you simultaneously.
Yeah.
I put it in there.
Right. But no, I mean,
If it's individual, keep it out of there.
yeah.
I'll just message you. I have another thread
Right.
for messages
Yeah,
just for you and just for
yeah,
you.
Single text.
Imagine that.
No, it's hard though, because like there's definitely some information that she provides. Because like I don't know if so my nephew, I can't remember. I don't think he was born preemie.
Yeah, he was.
Was he? So she started it as like an update how he was doing in the hospital and stuff.
Yeah.
And so that was
Yeah.
like one thing, but then it just turned into like
Devolves into
here's
these
pictures
things.
of
Yeah.
these people, and I'm just like, or you know, it's
Look what I had for breakfast today.
it's not that yet.
Oh, it's
thankfully,
it's gonna
but-
be there eventually.
But yeah, like the one was like my niece's first birthday, which I'm totally fine to seeing that, you know.
Yeah.
But like send me a link and I can look at it or put it on Facebook, make it private or whatever.
Right.
But when I'm getting 100 texts in like, and my phone's just literally like,
Yeah.
and my wife's like, what the heck are you doing? And I'm like, it's not my, and I show her, I'm like, look, mother, like 1,000 text messages from her.
Right.
And I even told her, I'm like, just try to chill out a little bit, you know? Because like there's some information I do want, like if
Right.
it's a health thing or whatever.
Yeah,
but,
yeah, for sure. Those things are the exception,
Right.
but don't make it an everyday
But
thing.
when it's like a birthday party, I'm like, this is fine to send me like on Facebook or on Google Drive
That's what those
or
things
OneDrive
exist
or
for.
whatever. Like,
Utilize them.
yeah.
They exist. Somebody
So-
put time and effort and brain power into creating these glorious things.
Right.
So you don't have to work as hard.
Yeah, so you could
Utilize
upload them all from your phone too.
Utilize it.
You just upload them all
I
at
wish
once.
more people
Yeah.
understood that.
It's hard. Well, no, but the thing is then like the more people like, so I go back and forth because I completely agree. I think people should be educated on a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's like if people were educated and they were like, it would kind of make, not necessarily what I do, but what you do kind of like obsolete. Well, not really because you set up networks and stuff. But either way,
Everything I do is like you couldn't make a robot that can do what I do because
Right.
it couldn't
AI,
troubleshoot.
it'll get there.
It would have like
Machine learning.
yeah, maybe. There's a lot
They're
of fine
obsolete.
motor skills that are involved with it, though.
For sure. Like the actual
In-
physical part of like,
If every
hooking
single
everything up.
closet was
Identical. Yeah.
then it would be easy for a robot to do it.
Right.
If you put
be-
everything, like I'm talking like literally you walk in and it looks the exact same.
right, the dimensions
The
of the
height,
closet,
the
everything
dimensions,
was
everywhere
exactly the same.
to the millimeter
even
where
the
the rack is.
Cables were located in the exact same spot.
Yeah.
But I think though over time, and maybe not like 5 years, but maybe 10 to 15 years, I could definitely see machine learning and robotics and stuff getting so advanced that it could go in there and like declusterize a server room.
So what people need to realize is if you choose a career path, no matter how much you like doing like the hands-on work, at some point in your career, you have to take the opportunity to move up and like leave the hands-on behind
Right.
and become a boss. 15 years from now, I'll be the fucking boss.
Understood, but I'm
No
not.
one's
I'm not
replacing
saying
me in
like
that regard.
I'm not saying like you as Tyler.
Well, no,
someone's
but
gonna
I
steal
mean,
your
like, that
stuff,
should be
but-
the mentality of a lot more people than it is. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? You should always be looking upwards.
Well,
And
conversely,
it's
though,
okay.
you
It's
have
fine
the-
to stay flat for many a year if that's
Build
what
experience and
if
stuff,
that's
yeah.
what you want to do, and that's what I'm currently in the process of doing, is just racking up the years of experience.
Right.
You know.
Well,
And-
but I think like too, the conversely, you have a problem, and in a situation that I've been in too, is that you have everyone that wants to be a boss, and no one to do the work, and I feel like
not everyone is suited to be a boss, for sure.
Agreed,
Period.
completely. But I think that's the problem, is people are like, well, I've been here for 5 years, I should be a boss, and it's like, well,
No.
with all due respect, like, no, you shouldn't be, you know?
You need to have a proven track record
Right.
of experience.
Because it's not just about being able to execute the task, like that's definitely a part of it, but
Right.
once you start talking about supervising people, there comes a level of like not just the technical
right.
aspect,
Yeah, that's what I
but
mean.
the interpersonal
Mhm.
aspect that
Yeah.
is probably more important than the technical side.
Right.
The technical side is great because you hate having a boss that's like, do this, and it's like, well, you do it. It's like, well, I don't know how.
Right.
It's like, well, then what the heck? But at the same time, if you're really good at the technical side, but you're on the spectrum, you know, you can't manage people. You
No.
can't be in those difficult
Not at all.
conversations with
Exactly.
clients that are
Right, right.
upset about a missed deadline or whatever.
That's why it's hard. That's
Right.
why not everyone is the boss.
Right.
Not everyone has what it takes. You have to have like the right combination of skills in order to be the boss.
I agree. And I think sometimes it's usually people that are a little bit more like on the like jerky side, if you will, because
Yeah.
they're more like the type of people that are going to
Confrontational.
confrontational. They're
And
going to
that's
get
how
it
you
done.
get shit done.
Right.
Yeah.
And so I think like it's good in both, but even if you don't look at being like the boss, there should always be a progression for you. Like, well, maybe I won't be the boss, but I'm going to be doing this instead.
Yeah, you're not
Like-
going to be able to be fucked with by the boss because your position is so
Right.
solidified that like they can't imagine a world
Or
without
a
you.
machine comes in, it's like you're going to be the subject matter expert to like ensure that the machine's doing what it's
Right,
supposed to be
right.
doing. You're not the replaceable person that just hired on
Exactly.
with no experience.
Somebody has to validate that the machine's doing it right, and
Right.
the person we want is the guy we know
Yeah.
does it right.
Exactly. And I think like that's part of the problem too.
Well, what about what Elon Musk said? What if everyone what was he describing? Some augmentation
Oh yeah.
to your brain that lets you interface on a like the low cognitive level, like the
Well, like what he was
the
saying is
motor
essentially
function
like
level,
the quickest you could be on a machine is limited by
how fast you can
physics at some
you-
point.
well,
Your fingers
how
can
long
only
it takes
do
the signals to travel to your fingers,
act
and-
out the motion,
Yeah.
process the input. And imagine too, a lot of things are created with user input in mind. If they could do a neural input, you could remove a lot of that
Yeah, and
that
it's
time
just
lapse,
thought.
and you're just into the code essentially, just
Thought.
like this is what I want it to
That's
do,
crazy.
and using it like you move your arm. Like
Well,
it's
that
just
raises
no-
the general intelligence of everyone to
Right.
the knowledge that's
And-
contained within the like from the source where you're getting your knowledge from, and
Yeah.
that's the fucking internet. That's like the entire collective of human knowledge
it's like
as
the
we know
Borg.
it.
Like it's the Borg at that point.
Yeah,
you know?
if you did that, then everyone has access to everything ever recorded digitally
Yeah.
in history. Period. That which is basically almost the entirety of human history. So you would know everything.
Right. At
You-
an instant.
Yeah,
Wherever-
instantaneously. What's the
Well,
square
and I
root
think,
of
like-
fucking 59,375,000 blah 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 blah, and you'd be
Done
like,
it.
boom, fucking
Got
before
it.
you could even finish.
Yep.
They say the
'Cause
last
while
digit,
you're
and
saying
you know the
you're
answer.
going, yep. Because you already know that the or the like what the equation is going to be square root.
Yeah.
So you're already looking for that. You're just listening to the number. You hear the last digit. Got it. There it is.
Yeah, but you have access to a database that already had that in there.
Right.
You just need to know what to type in to look it up.
That's what I'm saying. Like
Yeah.
while they're right when they say here's
So
this,
the issue is people won't be creating like you'll still have innovative creators because people have to come up with the new shit
right.
that no one else knows, but everyone will have access instantaneously to all information.
Well,
So if
look
you're
at-
sitting there, you don't have to make a statement that's not right or correct, but then we'd have to worry about misinformation big time. It becomes a fucking massive
You have these
problem.
people out there that have these thoughts of like the Earth is flat, for example.
Yeah.
And they're powering it by their brain power. They're getting a collective people to agree with that. They're putting sources
And
of
I mean, it's
information
out there.
online.
Yeah.
People are going to tap into it, and they're instantly going to have that data and be like, well, maybe this makes sense to me. And it
I
could
mean,
spread even
those people were,
misinformation.
they could have found that information themselves regardless whether or not they had instantaneous access to it or not.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Well, that's what I was going to say is like you look at the intelligence growth just from the smartphone, like phase or era, whatever you want to call it. Like you started giving the internet to people because, Ask Jeeves, when that was a thing, but you'd have to physically go to a computer or whatever. But now it's like whenever you want to know it, like that restaurant.
Yeah.
What was the name of it? Oh, let me go to
I
Google
know.
Maps.
That's what I mean. Yeah.
Just real quick.
Exactly.
And you already have that capability. It's an extension of you in some regard.
Yeah.
It's an identity. You put
just
your
need
own
to be
skin
able
on
to
it, like
interface with it differently.
right. Like I put a little pop socket with like a meteor strike. I put my own skin like with the different colors on it.
Yeah.
It's kind of a part of who I am. It's no different than the way like I do my hair or the clothes that I put on.
Right. Exactly.
But then eventually it's going to be where instead of being a device that I hold, my
be
mind
in
is just
you.
hooked up to it.
Yeah. Hooked up to it. Tapped into it. You think we have mental issues now?
Right.
Fucking
Just wait till.
Holy fuck, man! People will just be sitting in chairs like zombies, looking up shit. Like,
And people already do.
People lack
lose
interpersonal
their
skills
jobs
already
because they go down rabbit holes of like
Oh yeah.
stay on the internet.
You go
looking
to a
up
fucking
things.
restaurant, man, and everyone at the table is like, they can't put it down for even a second. I can't sit on my couch for more than 20 minutes straight without somebody picking up their cell phone. But
Seems like you got some issues there. But no, like here's the thing. Then this
but
is
that's
like what's
normal.
Crazy,
That's
though.
the new norm.
Right, but that's what's crazy. So I'm like, my wife and I are like, we need to stop being on our phone so much because like for
Yeah.
Christmas, my daughter was like, I want a phone. I'm like, you're 5, you're not getting a phone.
Yeah.
Like it's not gonna. And at the time, she was 4.
Right.
And so whenever we go out, we try not to be on our phones or whatever. But I
Yeah.
agree. Like if I sit down on the couch, I'm like, all right, I'm just gonna sit here and enjoy. Just like I just want to check something real quick.
Yeah. I
Like,
make a
and then-
conscious effort every day to try and not be on my phone.
Right.
And
Well, no,
like,
I'm just
when
saying,
you see
I
me
try
on my
too.
phone, it's because like I'm slipping, basically.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like I try to. I tell myself,
Yeah.
don't get on your phone. Like I set it down, and then I'm like, well, let me just check the weather real quick, or what's like. I'm sure there's a football game today. It's like let me just check real quick on like who's
Yeah.
playing. I want to see what the score
Only
is.
people that are really deep into like and consistently surrounded by technology and understand it from like a not just a user perspective, but from like a either from your job or just like a deep knowledge of like anything IT related or technology. Like those are the type of people that come to the realization that this is fucking bad and
Yeah.
we shouldn't be always
Right.
utilizing these things. And these are people that deal with them every single day in
Right.
capacities that normal people, users,
Yeah.
would never understand.
I agree. I mean, there used to be a point when if I left the house and I on my phone, I'd be like, I got to go back for it.
Yeah.
But now, like I ran out. I think it was 2 days ago. I got in the car. I was driving down the road. I'm like, oh, I don't have my phone on me. Like, oh well,
Fuck it.
this is how it used to be
Yeah.
done. Like you would leave and oh well.
But we're also part of that generation that was.
Right,
We
we-
remember when we didn't have it.
yeah, I remember
wasn't
a life without
ingrained.
the internet. you know?
Yeah, exactly.
And then I remember a life with the internet.
We're the dying breed.
yeah.
We'll be the end. Like, we're the only thing to like keeping that neural interface from existing, really, because the people that still remember life without the internet know like life without the internet still wasn't that bad.
It was actually it was pretty good.
Pretty good, and you still want to have elements of that that
Right.
are fun to
There's
enjoy, and you
because
still
it's
would
nostalgic,
be.
like you think about like riding your bike to a friend's house.
It's
and
natural. It's not nostalgic. I'm sure
But-
it is
but it is
nostalgic
in
in the
some
fact that
way.
it happened in the past, but it's natural to be in nature. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like,
no, I agree. But what I'm saying is, like you said, like a dying breed. Then let's say like we're the reason why not. Like a lot of kids nowadays like don't see any problem with like being on a tablet 24/7.
that's what I mean. Where that's
So-
the other breed.
So it's nostalgic in a sense. Like yeah, you're right, nature, but their nature
For
doesn't.
them, it would be like a nostalgia thing, or like no, it wouldn't. It
No,
couldn't- it
because I'm
couldn't
just
be a
saying, like, do you
nostalgia.
like? I remember times when it's like you'd call someone's house and be like, "Hey, is it there?"
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
no,
yeah.
they're over at Derek's
That's
house.
nostalgia.
Sweet, I'm gonna go over to Derek's house.
Correct.
But that's that natural thing as well. Like that's the nostalgia we have that these kids now never have.
Yeah,
to deal
they'll
with.
never have
It's
the
like, oh, they
nostalgia.
just checked in on.
Well,
this
we
place.
could
Let me
show
just
it to 'em,
text.
but if we-
yeah,
if
but
we-
they wouldn't know. For them, it would be more of like an experience. Like that's a fad instead of like that's how
right,
life
but
just
I mean,
was.
you can't have a nostalgia moment if you never had the experience.
That's what I'm
to
saying. So we
be
have
nostalgic of-
nostalgia.
Well,
Kids
you
today
still
don't have.
you still need to do it to the kids today. That's the only way you. But I'm saying if you remove that and everyone gets this neural interface
Yeah.
hooked up to the internet, everyone's tapped into it. then you eliminate even the possibility of removing yourself from it.
Right.
You know, which you can't create that moment anymore. Like right now, without it being embedded in us physically, we can separate ourselves from it.
So let me ask you this, because there's definitely a lot of people that don't have access to internet or to like devices or stuff, or people that are just like, not to call them conspiracy theorists or whatever, but they're like, no, we don't need that device type of thing.
Right.
So there's still, I would say, a large majority, like a large population.
I work with a guy that lives in the middle of nowhere, has to have like daisy chain satellites.
Right.
And fucking
What I'm saying is like there's
radars.
people that still like don't have that stuff. Like we see it a lot because obviously in highly populated areas, it's a lot more common and stuff, but there's definitely a huge percentage of the population, maybe not like 50% or more, but maybe
80% are operating at like less than 10 megasecond.
Right.
That's
so they
insane.
don't have like access to a lot of stuff. But then even further than that, there's people that don't even have like smartphones or whatever. You know what I mean?
They still have like rotary dial.
So they still have
telephones
like
and
landlines
shit.
and stuff.
Yeah.
And it's not just older people as well. It's also maybe like lower income, or like I was saying, people that are like, we don't want like that kind of stuff in our house. I don't think it's the majority of people, but I definitely feel like there's still a lot of like those kind of people.
Like a lifestyle choice.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
So like if you do have like a situation where people go to like this Neuralink or whatever, what's going to happen to like those people?
I mean,
are they going to be looked at as like the outcast because they're still driving to the store to get food instead of sending your like what would that even
not
be? Like
outcast,
an Android
but
or whatever?
I would think that all the luxury, there's tons of luxuries. Think about your grocery list and it's making it in your head, or you're like in your head on Amazon just adding shit to your cart and buying stuff all day long through thought.
Yeah. That could be scary too.
It's insane.
Because you have that like the impulse thought, like I'm gonna buy this,
yeah.
And then logic sets, and you're like, I don't need it, but you're like, well, I already purchased it.
But you thought about buying it, and probably there will be like some confirmation, obviously.
Well, because I think like that's the hard thing.
Bank account information tied into your head and
like
shit.
What do you do for? And I'm sure like it's not like an end of the world scenario, because I firmly believe like. You can't say, well, what are you going to do when like you don't have people to take care of like horses, for example, because when people ride horses all over the place, and it's like, well, we think we've adapted fine to that. So like, what do people do for jobs in a world where, you know, everything's kind of like mental and digital, you know, but you still want the physical luxuries, kind of like Ready Player One, right? Like, what's the incentive to get outside? And what do you do for money to pay for like the electricity you need to power this, or the internet bandwidth you need to pay for this? Or does that all just become free? But then what happens when that breaks? Like, what do you do to fix it?
Things are going to have to like, because I always thought about like, how would I function in a barter system society? And it just doesn't sound right. Like the skills, like even though you think you have skills, like, they'd be so hard to like provide your skills and like the exchange, like with obscure things like IT. Like, how do you trade IT services? Like, you could, but like, what if the person that needs the service from you isn't the one that fucking like they don't have what you want? You know what I mean? So like, you're putting it on them to figure out how to obtain the thing that you want via trading their services to another person. But then it's just like, so many fucking people in the chain to make the transaction happen. It's like,
let's just say this is worth this.
Yeah.
And we'll offer these trades, and essentially you're back to money again.
Right. But
like, here's a note.
We need a different thing, or we need to like change shit so that we understand that like, okay, these things are like fundamentals and they don't cost money anymore. Like, you can't be charged for these things. Like, this is basic.
Yeah.
You know? Like, everyone needs to have these
But resources are finite, and so it's like, how do you stop people from charging for those resources? Because I think that's like going to be... And I think like I said, it's going to be a gradual evolution. I don't think it's going to be like tomorrow, and then we're like, whoa, we need to invent this new system, you know?
That's funny, because it will be. It'll be like that fast.
It'll be
like Elon Musk
fast.
said. By the time you think you need to have legislation with certain technologies, like, it's already too late. Like, that shit spirals out of control.
No, I agree, but I'm just saying, I think it'll feel that fast, but it quite literally won't be like overnight. You know,
never know, man. A real AI it could literally be
well,
overnight.
AI for sure, but
'Cause
the
you don't know
fact
how
that like a
long
Neuralink, it's
they'll
not
have
just
been
like
working
every
with it.
single person's gonna go at midnight and buy this thing. And have
Yeah,
it
and
done.
you're
Like,
obviously
it's
going to have
be-
people, religious people, that are going to be like, that's the mark of the beast. I can't
Yeah.
do that. Can't put that inside my body. Same reason they don't want to get microchips that
But
tell
even
like
still-
the most rudimentary like health information about somebody. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
say you get mangled in a fucking car accident and you're all fucked up, and they have no idea what blood type you are when they take you to the ER and all this shit. You could easily put a chip inside your body that tells them all that information. So, we had some technical difficulties.
I count
So-
2. That's what I'm saying. 2 technical.
Technical.
Is the audio working though? Like this little sound thing at the bottom. Do you see that it's like moving?
Test.
I blame Windows.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're gonna blame Windows.
Yeah.
So we talked for like 10 minutes.
Yep.
Then we had another 5 minutes of technical difficulty
Te-
troubleshooting.
technical.
So you
So
missed
that's like
15 minutes.
15 minutes of
Just
awesomeness.
disappeared.
So
And
here's
we're
the
not
cliff
gonna
notes.
recap, or we are gonna recap. We are gonna recap. So give them the cliff notes.
Essentially, there was the chip in the arm,
Yep.
and then we talked about like it doesn't have to be an implant. It could be like a neuro mesh thing that you could wear like as a hat. Which then Tyler said, just like Doc Ock's trying to do in Spider-Man. And then we started talking about Spider-Man, and then I said I'm gonna start. I've been thinking about just streaming. Oh no, we started talking about God of War.
Yeah. How great it looks.
And then-
how
oh,
I don't like the combat.
That's right. That's what it
Compared to
was. So
Spider-Man.
I was saying people don't always jump on technology. Like me, myself, I'm not jumping on NVIDIA's new RTX 280 Ti
That's it.
because it has this new ray tracing technology. I'm going to wait to see how it does first and
Yep.
stuff and wait for the technology to develop before I jump in on it.
Yeah.
Then I said, and plus graphics like in Spider-Man, I said it already looked pretty good in my opinion. You were like,
Yeah.
you don't really see it. And I was saying not like the animation, but like just the textures and stuff look pretty
Oh,
good.
I see the graphics from like when you're swinging around.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it looks amazing.
looks awesome.
Even in 1080p.
Right.
I'm saying if I go put it on my 4K in the living room,
Yeah.
50 inches, wow, on the wall, it's
Yeah.
gonna look fucking
It's
glorious.
going to look awesome.
Do I need a new graphics card to play computer games in that same thing or better? Not necessarily.
Not right now.
They look pretty fucking awesome
Yeah.
as is.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Once the technology develops and like game developers start implementing it in,
Yeah.
but I think like that's how it is. So even
Right.
if like a technology came out that's like this is going to allow you to
Oh
like
yeah, there's lag time.
instinctual or instantly communicate, it's going to replace your cell phone, but it's going to be like either an implant or a headpiece you wear or
Yeah.
whatever. You're going to have even people like myself they're like I'm going to wait to see some reviews.
You never want to be the first wave.
No.
You always want to be like the second or third. Is
Yeah. So I was talking to this
optimal.
individual a while ago, kind of similar, but not like directly related, but similar, like what you get happens when you're like the first adopter of something.
Yeah.
So before LASIK surgery was kind of like widespread, they used to do this thing where they would like cut open your eye
Yep.
and replace your lens.
Yeah.
And like put like a permanent contact lens essentially into it.
Correct.
So he did that like right when that first became available, like a long time ago.
Yeah.
And then LASIK was like, oh, this is great. And he's like, oh, I want that instead. Because
Yeah.
his vision got bad again. Now he has to put like contacts over his like permanent contacts essentially.
Right.
And he's gone to doctors and they because he had that surgery, they won't do LASIK on him. Like they're just like, nope, you're too big of a risk essentially like to like do that. And they can't undo that because they probably threw his natural lens away. Like they didn't keep that.
So fun fact.
So
Fun fact, since you brought up LASIK, my dad actually worked for the guy that invented LASIK eye surgery. Like
Oh, really?
the tools that
is
they
this,
use to.
Is this when you're going to try to tell me that 2015 doesn't exist?
No.
Do you remember
2015 does exist.
that? Oh, okay. Well, that's a different story than you were saying a couple years ago.
2010 is perfect though.
2020 is perfect.
2010 is the best humanly possible vision that you can achieve.
Well, 2010 just sees at 10 feet. You could see at
Right.
20 feet what
That's-
people at 10
It's
feet.
better than
Yeah.
2015, and
Right.
that's the highest you can possibly like. That's like the best
That's
ratio
what they
or whatever.
scale it,
yeah,
yeah.
the scale. Like that's the
Right.
highest it goes.
Yeah.
So I don't. 2015. I think it was because 2015.
It was. A
I'd never
conversation
seen
that
a
took place
chart
in
with 2015 because they don't always check odd number like that.
But it's not really charts nowadays. It's all like kind of digital, and they just say this is where you are. Like well, the last visions test I've
It's a
had.
bunch of fuckery.
They just
that's
have, like,
an iconic
screenshots.
chart, dog.
Yeah.
What a bunch of ass.
But when we
like,
looked it up, it
who
was
does
definitely there.
2015.
Yeah.
Thought it went 2016, 2012, 2010 for whatever reason.
2016 doesn't
Like
sound right.
2020, 2016,
2016 did
2012, and 2010.
No. I just remember we had like a huge argument
Fair enough.
at Brycon, and you were wrong because you called your dad. I remember like you called him, like my dad, like he did. You called him,
Yeah.
and he's like, you're like, oh, are you sure?
Yeah.
Is there any
So
other?
the point is
really?
there's like a million different kinds of like what regular people would refer to as LASIK. There's like various different kinds that you can do, and I find it hard to believe that the person wouldn't fall into one of the categories for a particular
maybe
type
it's the
of
doctor
LASIK.
he was talking to.
That's my thoughts. Is like, don't go to shitty doctors.
Yeah.
If you want shitty.
I'll mention that to him.
You know what I mean?
And see if like there's a way, because he said that he went to a LASIK doctor and they said because he had that surgery that
Probably
they
just went to a shitbag that farms out
possible.
general LASIK eye surgeries, because
That's
there's
entirely
like other
possible.
ones, like some LASIKs you gotta like wear like the crazy shit, but then they do like other procedures where they like can just in and out, and you don't need reading glasses anymore. Like from then on.
Well, I think that's just the thing is
Crazy
like
shit
I didn't
like
know
that.
about that.
It's like PK,
And I'm sure
I think is the
he
other
didn't
one.
know about that, so he probably heard a
LASIK,
doctor say
PK.
that and was like, okay.
PKI. There's like a bunch of different ones, and they come up with new ones all the time.
Yeah, well,
So
because they're
don't-
refining the technology.
Always get multiple opinions when you're talking about doctors nowadays, because the days of only having to go one-stop shop doc they're done.
Yeah.
People don't do that. They don't know general
Well,
medicine.
And the thing too is it's not necessarily because like I've heard people like, why are there so many specialists? It's like, it's a good thing there's so many specialists. It used to be if you're like, we're having like a
Good and
joint
bad.
problem, you had to go to like the general doctor and he'd never seen it before. He'd be like, I don't know, try stretching. But then you go to like a specialized doctor and he's like, oh yeah, this is like the cause of that. And
yeah.
you know.
But guess what? His knowledge is limited to that one particular thing.
For
as
sure,
a
but that's why
specialist,
you don't-
or that one particular area.
And I guess that's true. Like you don't want to go to like the grocery store. You don't want to go to the bakery to buy your bread and then go to the butcher to buy your meat. The grocery store is nice because you can go and pick up all your stuff there without having to go to a bunch of different people.
Right, but even besides that, like no, like having a general practitioner of medicine has. So like when you get specialized, like you have your base doctor, right? Base doctor knows human anatomy and basic shit that all doctors fucking know. And then you go into your specialization, but then there's a specialization of generalized medicine. Like, what does
Right.
that mean? It's the next level of knowing everything,
Right.
or having a general idea of everything. And those specialized doctors, they miss out. They only have level 1 general knowledge, not level 2 or 3
But
general
still,
knowledge.
if you go to like the eye doctor, for example, I'm not gonna be like, oh doc, by the way, while you're looking at my eyes, can you also look at my foot? And I get that
Right.
optometrists are not like necessarily falling in the same thing of like an MD, but like, you know what I mean? Like if you go to like an ear, nose, and throat doctor, you're
Yeah.
not gonna be like, hey, my ankle also sore.
Right.
You know, you're gonna be like, I'm gonna go to the other guy for this.
Awesome. Correct. But there's also a next level, I'll call it level 3, and that's diagnostic medicine. And you have to be, that's like, you're the max, you could be any specialization that you would choose, but you're specialized in all of them. That would be
Okay.
diagnostic medicine. And diagnostic medicine is like House. You know, the show House? Yeah, like that. He runs the diagnostic department.
Right.
Meaning you have to know everything. Like, unless it's blatantly obvious what's fucking wrong with you, like,
Like a
then
broken
go to
bone
a
or
specialist.
something.
Yeah, go to a
Right.
specialist. If it's not blatantly obvious, you need a level 3 like
You need to
diagnostic
figure out what's wrong with you
doctor.
so you could go to a specialist, if
Right.
you will, to figure out what's wrong.
Right, but sometimes it takes a specialist to even be able to identify the right problem
Right.
to recommend.
Well, I
a
heard something that's
specialist.
crazy is that doctors are not required to understand any sort of basic fundamentals of nutrition.
Yeah, correct.
So it's like, I think it was
Yeah.
another podcast
Yeah.
I was listening to,
Nutrition is
and they were
not in
making a
their
comment like
curriculum.
some person, like the doc asked him like, "Are you eating any salads?" And he said, "Oh yeah, I'm eating salad." And he's like, "It's macaroni salad or something like that." And he was like, "Okay, perfect." But he like didn't realize that like that's not a salad.
Yeah,
You know, that's
Yeah.
essentially pasta,
right.
which is just, you know, so it's that kind of knowledge too. Like
Oh, yeah.
doctors don't really have that.
It's multifaceted, and if you really want to know, like, you can't pigeonhole yourself into one specialization if you hope to be able to like fix people and their
Right.
complex
Well, but I think like,
bodies that are.
I think you
humans,
have the
know?
people that that want to be doctors, but they also not necessarily they don't want to put in the work, because obviously you went to get your MD, you put in time, like that took a lot of time to do that. But what it is more so it's like, I want to be really good at one thing and just do that forever. Because I think like with diagnostic medicine, it's like you're always running into new challenges, I would assume. Like on House is a perfect example. Like every week or every day or whatever, it's a new thing that they've never heard of before.
Right.
And I don't think real life would be like that dramatic, but at the same time, you could have days where you're like, it's kind of off today. I just want to come in and do my thing. And it's like, I don't want to figure out what this is from why do you have symptoms that only showed themselves in 1500 France? Like, you know,
people that are thinking about that kind of stuff and trying to solve those problems, that's why they do it, is because they like solving those problems.
But that's what I'm saying. I think that's why you've seen probably like an influx of specialists, is because like there was a comedian.
I'll tell you why.
There was like a comedian. Well, it's probably money related.
There's a point in your doctor education path that you choose that you realize that if I ever hope to pay back this $140,000 or $200,000 that it took me to go into debt to get this education, I need to specialize in whatever the fuck it is that pays me the most fucking money possible
to pay off this debt.
Today, in today's day and age, cosmetic, anything that can translate to anything cosmetic. So dental, perfect. People are always fucking doing crazy shit to their teeth.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm going to the dentist tomorrow.
Yep. Dental, like dentists fucking kill it, man. Where's the overhead for being a dentist? You just need to buy the tools. They pay for themselves. Then where's the overhead?
And I'm sure like nowadays with how things go, you could probably lease them at a much cheaper rate. So your initial investment is much. So your ROI, you're starting to see cash flow greater than any of your equipment costs, because you don't have
I don't think dentists go to school for 8 years either.
No.
They don't have to. There's like a fast track where it's like a 6-year program.
You just want to be a dentist, you'd go
do
this
that.
route. Yeah.
But then you get crazy because then there's dental specialists and shit, endodontists and orthodontists and shit. But yeah, just a general tooth doctor fucking slays it, man.
But even still, I think like the biggest difference there is there's definitely good dentists and bad dentists.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So like what sucks is I went to a dentist a couple years ago and I had a crown put on, and I didn't like him as a person. Like there was something off about him, and like the way he did things I wasn't a big fan of.
Yeah.
But it was the smoothest process getting that crown put on. I just had a crown put on like 2 weeks ago or something.
Yeah.
I've already gone in once because it like hurts to bite down on it. And then he's like, all right, that should fix it. Now I have to go. He's like, it'll be sore for a couple days, but it's the tendon. It'll heal and stuff.
Yeah.
Still hurting. So like I have to go in, and like when I called him yesterday, they're like, all right, can you come in on Friday? I'm like, you want me to do 2 more days of this crap?
Yeah.
So it kind of sucks in that regard.
Hey,
like,
it's funny. Julie went to the dentist today.
Really?
Tooth pain. She got a cavity filled, like a surface cavity, like light, and it still hurts.
Yeah.
And they're like, we don't know why. It kind of sounds very similar.
That's weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fucking something in the water, man.
Yeah. We have an RO system.
But that's the thing is people go into specializations. So like skin doctors, what do they call those? Dermatologists. Yeah, dermatologists. Fucking kill it. Murder it.
Yeah. My wife just went to a dermatologist to ask a question about something, and it was unbelievable how much it was, even with insurance.
Yeah.
Because I think a lot of times too, insurance companies think anything dermatology is purely cosmetic, so they don't cover a lot of it.
Yeah.
And so it's like
no, it's
but
it
even,
is cosmetic, but it's like mental cosmetics in a sense. Because like
like
you're
could
gonna
have like skin cancer or something.
Yeah, but you're gonna cause like some people with like super severe acne, you know what I mean? It's not like you're gonna die from acne, but it probably fucking ruins your life as far as like mentally, you know what I mean? So
but that's what I'm saying. Some of that stuff is like not covered. Like some of it is for sure.
Yeah, that's what I mean, and that's kind of fucked up.
Yeah.
Like I understand the need for like certain cosmetic things need to be covered, you know? Like it'd be fucked up if you had like give my brother for example, he has his cleft lip and palate. Can you imagine if the insurance company like let him get all this surgeries done to fix his lip, and cosmetically there's like a shit ton of superficial like skin grafts and shit like that through what the fuck do you call that guy? Where they do like facial reconstruction and shit.
I don't know.
I can't remember what they're called, but the point is like at the end, they give them a rhinoplasty, which is a nose job.
Yep.
Because all that work in that area fucks up your nose and shit, and like, so they give them a rhinoplasty. Can you imagine if they didn't give them a rhinoplasty? It's like an essential part of the whole process is everyone that has a cleft lip and palate basically gets a rhinoplasty.
Yeah.
When it's all said and done. And it's at the very end. And it's purely cosmetic.
Right.
But it's like a necessity.
Right. Well, and I think like that's the thing. There's some of them that are with that, but someone who just has like bad acne, they could be like,
Yeah. I don't know.
just change your
I think
facial.
some of the
cleans.
rules.
Yeah.
Oh no, it's not.
Well, but that's the thing
not
is like
that
insurance
simple.
companies. You have to remember a lot of insurance companies are for profit.
Dog, they're
So how do you
fucking
get
robbers.
profit?
They hold us up at gunpoint all the time.
That's what I'm
all it
saying.
is.
Like let's charge them this much money, but then
Yeah.
when you want to use this money, like I'm sorry, that's not covered. But we just gave you all the money. Yeah, but that was for your premium.
Yeah.
Don't even worry about that. If you want to do that, it's going to be this much money. It's like, but then what the heck am I paying a premium for? So you
Right.
can have insurance. But you're telling me it's not cut. You know what I mean? It's just like,
Well,
it's the biggest scam.
it's your portion of the pie that you paid in doesn't factor out to how much you're gonna try and pull out. Is what they're saying.
But the thing is like as much as I've so for what, like 6-7 years now, I've been constantly on an insurance plan. And
Yeah.
I think I've had one trip to the hospital.
I
when
mean,
was,
you
like,
should be
dying.
what would make sense is that you're building up all that time and credit.
Right.
So
Well, that's
the
what they have.
longer
Like
you
they have like
go-
those HSAs, like health savings accounts. So you
Yeah.
essentially you put that money in there every year,
Yeah.
and then when you need it, hopefully you have enough saved up and stuff to pay for it.
Which are smart ways of doing it, especially if you don't get
pre-taxed.
sick. Like you don't
Yeah.
get sick very often and whatnot.
But the
like,
thing for me is that it's always like the catastrophic stuff.
yeah,
So it's like, what if I'm in a car accident?
yeah,
But I mean, that might fall on auto insurance,
Yeah, exactly.
sometime.
And you're not covered.
Yeah, and I don't have underinsured motorists. But like, what happens like if you get sick? You know, like you have something happen that no one knows what it is, so you're just at the hospital and they're trying to
like
figure
my
it
mom
out
when she was in the hospital for a month
Yeah.
and a half
before
or
they
2
found
months
out
or
that.
whatever. No, they knew exactly what the fuck was wrong. It just stayed there for that long. But yeah, she had supplemental insurance through Affleck, which basically her insurance and then like ran out, and then she had to go on like that Cobra shit, but then it still covered it. And then her supplemental insurance kicked in, so she ended up getting paid because she had like a supplemental insurance that paid her for every day she was in the hospital, rather than like she like lost her job temporarily, and then when she got better, so she got her job back, and then but like for that whole time that she was unemployed, she was in the hospital racking up insurance, like racking up medical bills. But because she had this Affleck shit, it like her shit, she made enough money to pay what she owed after, and then made money off of it. So it's kind of like
That's interesting.
you can scam the system. There's
Yeah.
things like if you know or have a feeling, you can prep, and I think
Right.
it was a precautionary thing that ended up paying out.
Yeah.
And because she got it at the right time and had been paying on it all those years,
It'd be like knowing that like a fire's coming and you buy fire insurance on your house.
yeah,
And they're like, okay.
yeah.
And you're like, oh, my house burned down.
But you pulled all the shit out of your
Right.
house before it burned
Yeah.
to the ground. You know what I mean? So you get to keep all your shit,
And
you get all the money from the house.
Yeah. No, I mean, I definitely think like, but no one
That'd
ever
be
is that
super
lucky though.
suspect, dude.
Yeah.
Like a wildfire, they'd be like, "This motherfucker you started the wildfire."
Yeah.
Ryan started the
I
fire.
was just
Ha! Just trying
Love
to figure out a way to work it in.
Love those callbacks. You know? Yeah.
Didn't that just happen with one of the California fires? Like someone burnt their house down.
Yeah.
Like and said it was.
Oh,
because of the
really?
Yeah.
fire.
Like what happened was,
But
so
they
the fires were
kind of-
burning around that
Insurance
area.
fraud.
Yeah.
And then he burned his house down. And it was like, how did your house burn down when it was like
Yeah,
far
yeah.
away?
Been a number.
Must have been a number. But they caught him.
What'd you do? Douse your house in gasoline or kerosene or some
Yeah,
shit?
like I think that's what it was. Like how they figured out, like the fire clearly started, like inside the house. Like, what happened? Amber must have gotten the AC system.
Yeah. What's funny is like
It happened.
that people, dude.
But what happens like if it really did? Like it got into like the air vent or whatever, like out.
Yeah.
And then pushed in
mean,
and then like started.
There's filters though.
I know. But it burned through the filters.
Blow it out.
Yeah. You never know. Dust is highly flammable.
Weird random thought while I was driving
Justice.
here. I was thinking about like getting pulled over. I'm like, man, what would be a really good excuse that like irrefutable? Like, how are they gonna say no?
Your
I
wife
was
having
like,
a baby.
oh no, I was like,
it's overplayed.
I was like, dog.
You got to have like IBS or something.
No. I came up with a brilliant one. Feel free to use it. I'm so sorry, officer. I apologize. Let me explain the situation. I have a severe light allergy, and I don't know, something with these halogen lights. It's never happened before. I swear to God, I wasn't swerving but those halogen lights just started making me sneeze. Like, you know, when you look at the sun and you start to sneeze like that, they did that to me, and I was sneezing, and like, I don't know, I'm gonna try and drive a little slower because this has never happened to me before. Like, so like, how are you gonna question somebody? Like, how are you gonna
check the steering wheel
how are you gonna make that
for
shit up?
mucus spray?
Did you have a
Like,
tissue?
that shit's so deep and complicated and like so like
It's like
it's so
over
unbelievable
the top that
it's got to be real,
Yeah.
man. Like, and
Yeah.
if you go into it with that in your mind and you've like rehearsed it and you just spill the beans right there, like,
Yeah.
when would I have found time to think this up? Are you really accusing me of
Who
this?
sits there and thinks about that?
Light allergy
Yeah,
and halogen.
whatever.
This
Yeah.
fucking guy. I'm gonna try it. Next time I get pulled over, I'm gonna.
How often do you get pulled over?
I'd never get pulled over, but I'm saying like if I ever
If
do,
you ever do.
it's gonna be a light allergy.
What if it's nighttime?
That's what I mean. That's
Nighttime's like
nighttime.
preferred.
The halogen lights.
Nighttime's
something with
best.
those halogen
So
lights on those
daytime?
new cars. Am I right, man?
Yeah.
Fucking the guy's like, I drive a Prius. So
How are you, man? I tell you.
It happens to me all the time.
my car's all electric. I have no idea what you're talking about. Oh, never mind then, dude.
You don't get it, but that's what was happening. That's what I was sneezing.
Yeah, so I was sneezing.
Yeah.
That's extreme light allergy. You must be a basement dweller, dude. Never been outside in the light. You wouldn't even know you had a sun allergy.
Yeah. What's funny though is every time I see a cop, I'm always like, they're gonna get me, and I'm always like, wait, I'm not doing anything wrong.
I do that because I know all the bad shit I got away with in the past.
Exactly.
And it's
that has to
did
be
they
what it
finally
is.
catch up with
Yeah.
me? No, it's never going to catch
It's
up with
Jack
you.
Bauer.
It's
He's like,
never
he
gonna-
figured it out.
Fucking no,
You
dude.
were the one that drank all that
You need
beer.
to really be worried when you get Tony Almeida. That's when you.
Yeah.
That's when you get Almeida.
Yeah.
Only people that have seen 24 will get that.
And like
And lived with us.
And throughout the seasons too. Like
Yeah.
not Tony Almeida from the first season.
Yeah. No, this is
I
when
saw that
Tony
shit.
Almeida comes
Coming
back.
back into the picture.
Ooh,
Yeah.
shit.
I only saw that
In
first season.
DC, right? That was like the DC
yeah.
one.
And
Yeah.
he tortures the guy, and we called it getting Almeida.
Yeah.
Because he's like Jack Bauer was kind of like MIA at the time, and Tony Almeida's going ape shit, doing all the torturing of terrorists.
It
And
was always
shit.
so crazy too. It was like,
was.
man, that'd make me talk. I mean, I don't.
Dude.
I always sit there. I'm like, oh, for America, I'm like, yeah, but you come at me with some of the stuff. I'm like, oh, dude, I don't want to do
What do
it.
you
Any
wanna
of
What was
that.
I watching? I
Yeah,
was
what do you want to
watching-
know? I'll tell you everything. What do you want? I know where McDonald's is. Is that what you need to know?
What the fuck show was I watching? Oh, the new Jack Ryan
Mhm.
on Amazon.
Jim Ryan.
Jim Ryan. Yeah, good old Jim. You never trust a guy named Jim.
No.
Or a guy.
Did
in
you
a
see that
tunic.
video though, where like they called it Jim Ryan,
Oh.
and it was his taking after Dwight or whatever? Like his
Dude,
big
I
nemesis
get
was
it.
Dwight.
I
Dwight.
get
It
it.
was so
I
good.
get Jim from The Office.
Yeah,
I get
yeah.
it. I get it. Well, Jim is also a name. Jack is a nickname for Jim, isn't it?
I
Or
don't know.
John. It's Jack. Jack's for John. That's what it
That's
is.
so weird.
I
John
know.
is already kind
Such
of a
a.
nickname.
It's already
Yeah.
breeder
How do you
as
get
far
how
as
do
it
you
can
get Dick
go.
from Richard? Explain that one to me,
Dude.
internet.
$50.
Yeah.
My grandpa's name was Richard, and everyone called him Dick Jones. Awesome, dog.
But how?
Yeah.
Like,
I don't
what's the
know.
connect? Or why is if someone's name
Why is my
William?
last name Red Dick? I don't fucking know,
Well,
but it is.
that's you gotta. I have theories on that one. What your ancestors were into.
Red
But
Rick.
let's. But let's focus on why are people that are named William they go by Bill.
I don't know.
I don't
the
know. That's what I'm saying.
I-double-L?
I don't-
The
I don't-
I-double-L.
That's it. But
I
they could
guess.
be Will.
Or ill.
I guess if
Or
you
they
turn
could
if
be
you
ill.
turn the W
They could be Lil
on
Ill
its side
and put a
and
thing
put the
through it.
ILL out, it kind of looks like Bill.
No, it looks like an ill, like
It does,
E.
dude. It does.
Pretty sure that's a Euro symbol.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know, dude.
I don't get it.
I don't know. It's a mystery.
Yeah.
I knew a Richard who did not want to be called Dick.
There's
Yeah.
a lot of those.
In fact, he was like, you may call me Rich or Richard, but you cannot call me Dick. I'm like, whatever, Dick.
Sure thing, Dick.
I'm not saying that as you as a nickname. I'm calling you a Dick right now. I'm
Yeah.
like, that's a Dick move.
Yeah.
Not a Richard move. Yeah.
Did you actually say that? Because it'd be amazing if you did.
No, I didn't tell
There
him.
would've
That.
been
He was a
Why
good
not?
guy. He was a good guy.
Nut up, dude.
Yeah.
Nut up.
He was a good guy.
If somebody
no complaints
if
about
somebody
Richard.
explicitly says don't call me Dick, you have to make a dick joke right
Yeah.
after to
Yeah.
their face.
I think it was like in the.
You're running
when
around
we
with the
met
wrong
him.
crowd.
Yeah, I think it was like
If
the
no one
same-
made a dick joke right after somebody
like in-
says don't call me Dick,
It was like in a job interview. Like
Dude.
it wasn't gonna be like,
that's how they know you're a good guy.
yeah,
Interpersonal skills, buddy.
Yeah.
Learn them.
that's an
You
HR
crack a dick
issue.
joke, and then they're like, this guy's cool.
Next thing you know,
icebreaker,
you crack
just
a
don't
dick
do it
joke.
with the chick.
Then there's a Me Too hashtag about you.
Or
and your
maybe
business,
chicks
and
want
just-
dick jokes, and they're like,
In my experience, a lot of girls are usually more disgusting in jokes
oh, for sure.
than guys.
For sure.
But the problem is that if you make a dick joke, then girls can be like, you harassed me.
Mm-hmm. Sexual assault.
Sexual assault. Hustled.
Yeah, hawk it back.
Yeah, was
I
like,
guess. I guess.
That's exactly what's going on in the world today.
Oh, I know. I know this.
Like, I don't know the full story, so I'm just going to speak off of headlines, but I think that's what's happened to Morgan Freeman. I think he just made a joke. Like someone asked him, like, if you were God, what would you be doing? And I was like, well, for starters, you wouldn't be wearing clothes. And now it's like, oh, Morgan Freeman, like, sexually assaulted someone. And I think that's
When
the whole
was
story.
this?
It just happened, like,
A
not that
few
long
months
ago.
ago.
Like a couple months ago.
He's getting shamed.
Yeah, he's getting shamed now because of
Dog,
it.
Morgan Freeman can do no wrong. His voice is like timeless.
Apparently,
It's
he
iconic.
can in
Whatever,
in
dog.
the
I
world
don't
we
give
live
a
in
fuck.
today.
I didn't even know that shit was a thing.
Yeah, but that's like,
You know what I'm obsessed with?
I'm gonna say
It's
dick
kinda,
jokes,
Kind of
but
stupid. It's kind of stupid because it's like out of character for me and never get invested. Hip hop drama.
what is?
Are
I've
you
never
following?
Heard of it. No, I've never heard of
So
it.
like last week or a week ago, Eminem released a surprise like diss album where he talks shit on all these like mumble rappers and shit. And like
Nice.
the codeine kids and shit like that.
That's why Eminem's cool.
And he talked mad shit about like a fuckload of people. He like there was only 4 people he didn't talk shit to, and he called them out. Like if you're not these 4 people, fuck you, basically.
Wow.
Yeah, and so he called out this one dude named Machine Gun Kelly, who's like from Cleveland. He's another white rapper dude, but he's actually pretty good. Like it.
Well, with the name
surprised-
Machine Gun Kelly,
Well,
the confidence is,
dude,
it must be there.
He made a
Like,
diss like so he Eminem. Let me give you the backstory so we get this all on podcast.
Is it
fucking-
recording though?
Oh yeah. Maybe.
So in 2012, Machine Gun Kelly said in a tweet, he was basically saying no disrespect to Eminem, but Haley, Eminem's daughter, is smoking hot, and he'd fuck her. And so no one said anything. It's like went like kind of just like behind the scenes. Like apparently they asked this MGK, Machine Gun Kelly, to apologize and whatnot, and nothing ever was like said on Eminem's part in retort to it. And then 2018 happens, Kamikaze, and like Machine Gun Kelly gets like 2 whole verses in a song talking mad shit on this motherfucker. So then 2 days after
About
that album
Eminem?
released,
He was-
Eminem talking shit on Machine Gun Kelly.
Oh,
like,
I see.
I didn't fucking respond to you in 2012. Here you go, kid, type deal.
Wow.
And he like smashed him hard. It was pretty rough. But then Machine Gun Kelly goes and blows up the fucking internet by releasing his own Eminem diss track, which is like insane because he has a hook and like a chorus in the diss track song, and it's a whole like 5-minute song.
Wow.
Where he just literally destroys Eminem's face. Like it's brutal. He's like, I already fucked one rapper's chick this week. Don't make me call Kim. And that's like basically how it ends, dude. Like after the chorus and shit.
Yeah.
But he's like, one of the lines was, knees weak. Well, the real Slim Shady can't stand up, and like talking all this fucking shit to him, dude. And he was
Wow.
like, yeah, He's like, you're a national treasure. The only difference between you and me is I didn't have Dr. Dre producing me like the whole time and all this shit, dude. He was talking mad shit, dude.
I don't even know what happened.
It was really great. If you get a chance, watch it. It's called Rap Devil because Eminem has the song Rap God. Yeah, this dude made Rap Devil. But he's like shirtless, carrying a fucking shovel and eating a bowl of cereal in the video. It's so random, dude. But it's really good.
Well, wasn't like that Eminem song "Cleaning Out My Closet"? Wasn't he like shirtless with a shovel or something?
Was he?
I think so.
Oh, dude, that'd be an even bigger diss on Eminem.
I think so. I think
Is it really?
I think he did a song because I vaguely remember at least to him with a shovel. Maybe he had like a wife beater on or something.
Well, Machine Gun Kelly is covered in tattoos, and he has a tattoo that makes it look like he has suspenders on. It's actually pretty dope.
Sounds weird.
Yeah. So that's like what you're obsessed with right now?
Anyway.
Yeah, and watching reaction videos of like
Well, some reaction videos are like what happens when like old people watch like South Park or something.
The best reaction videos are when black people react to shit.
Whoa.
And when black people react to this rap battle and the disses, oh dude, because they get it on a different level because that's their culture, man. Like, I'm not gonna steal that shit. And there, this one dude goes, I love this white on white crime going on right here. Like, and they're like talking, dude,
That's
they're like,
funny.
they're losing their shit in typical fashion. You know what I mean? Like, the way black people get excited about shit, dude. It's fucking people know what I'm talking about, dude. They're hooting and hollering and like, oh shit, no, he fucking didn't. Like, pause that fucking video, man. We gotta talk about this shit. And like, dude, they're so fucking funny. And like, just to hear what the different people that are reacting like pick up in the video and shit, and then, like seeing like their understanding of the situation, and like just all these people in the industry made reaction videos. Every YouTuber made a reaction video to this diss track, and like so there's infinite amounts to watch, dude. And they're so fucking funny. And the song is really good, so I gotta listen to it every time I watch one reaction video. I hear the same song over and over.
You know how I know you need a full-time job? Like where you need to like leave the house?
When you watch.
It's moments like this
diss track.
when I'm like, Tyler, you need to like think about like getting an office job for a little bit. Like, it'll probably help you out. I've never heard of this before.
A deep
and
rap.
I feel like my life is still okay, you know, like without having ever heard
like
that.
A thing from the internet that's pretty popular.
Like, have you heard that?
That I got sucked into. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I saw
An obscure thing.
Yeah, I saw something that he released a video, like a new song, but I didn't.
Dude, it's like straight fire though. The diss track response is fucking fire. Like, yeah, they're like, God damn, this guy's like on the map now. Like, he was kind of a nobody, and now he's a somebody. Like, even more of a somebody.
He's
signed by like P Diddy to whatever P Diddy's fucking record label is. Like, he's a big deal. He does like shit. Did you watch the Will Smith movie on Netflix? What's it called? Bright?
Yeah.
Yeah, you watched that, right? One of the songs on the soundtrack, I think the main soundtrack song, is by Machine Gun Kelly.
Oh, interesting.
And
I like that movie.
2 other artists.
I like the soundtrack. I thought that the guy that played the orc did a good job.
I think Machine Gun Kelly was actually in the movie. He was like one of the gangsters, like in the orc ghetto.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know who that is, so I don't know what he looks like. But I feel like who would have done a really good job, because I feel like the guy did an okay job. But
which one?
The main orc, the cop
Joel
orc.
Edgerton?
Yeah.
You know who that is, right?
I don't think so.
Yeah, dude.
I probably do if I see him out.
Remember
not
the
as
movie
an orc.
Warrior with Tom Hardy, where his brother's a teacher and Tom Hardy's like a Marine that goes AWOL, and they like fight in like UFC?
Mm-hmm.
You probably didn't watch it because every time this guy watches those kind of movies, Jarrell, I'm pretty sure it was a UFC movie, and like he just wants to go fight.
I want to
people,
fight
dude.
someone.
He gets fucked up.
Dude, you don't even
He
realize.
learned his lesson the last
That
time.
wasn't even a lesson. That was cheap shots.
He was
by
hammered.
You.
He was hammered.
For
He's
one.
so hammered he agreed to this.
I'm sitting in the middle between Derek and Tyler.
And he's
we
watching,
just watched Never Back Down.
No, we were in the middle of watching Never Back Down.
I was like, dude, this makes me want to fight. And then they were like, we'll trade punches or whatever. I'm like, let's do it. And so what happens is
No,
they
he wanted to
both
go.
just
He
start-
wanted to go.
I
Fight
did want to go
somebody.
find
He
someone.
wanted to go
That's
find
true.
somebody
That
on the
was a bad
street
idea.
and fight somebody.
I just
And we're
wanted to
like,
go
no,
kick
no, no,
someone's
no.
ass. But so they're like, we'll just trade punches. I'm like, sweet deal. And they're on the side of me, and both of them at the same time just start wailing on my arms, and so I can't do anything because they're just like nonstop, like do, like on both arms.
You're
like
fighting.
and I'm
You're
like,
fighting.
I'm like, this isn't fighting.
Dude, when he was done, man,
Oh, dude, I had bruises on my arms for
he
weeks.
couldn't sleep on his
I
side.
couldn't.
Jeez.
It was so bad.
His fucking arm from his elbow to his shoulder
On
was like
both arms.
was like
They were
a
yellow
black and blue,
and
yellow,
yellow. Remember, it was
green,
yellow.
red, like
Yeah.
hematomas under the. They
for weeks.
he was fucked up. He's like, dude, my arm, I gotta stretch it out. Like
if I had sat still for so long, like the blood would like rest. I had to keep like
Dude.
stretching him out.
he
but
never
that's
wanted
not-
To, he never wanted to. He was never backing down after
So at
that.
that point, you realized you were not a fighter.
Yeah, that was
I already,
basically.
to
what
be
we were-
honest though, like a part of me always knew I wasn't a fighter, but that was just like I don't ever want to get jumped. Like that's what that was.
That was an extreme reality check for him.
Yeah, that wasn't like a let's have a fair fight. That was like we're just gonna like beat the crap out of you.
Yeah, pretty much.
That would have been the result of what would have happened. It would have been far
Yeah.
worse had we let you go find a rando.
Oh, I
You probably
agree.
would have been shot dead.
I agree,
In
especially
that
where we
part of
lived
town,
in Tucson.
yeah.
I agree completely.
In that neck of the woods.
But it was just one of those things. Like we'd been drinking. I was like pumped up. I was like, yeah,
yeah.
do something. You know what would have happened though? I would have got outside. I'd been like, oh, the fresh
Yeah.
air's nice. Like I just wanted to go. I just really wanted to go for a
Well,
walk.
since
look
you
at
haven't
Dandy
seen
Night.
Warrior, you don't know who Joel Edgerton is. What else was Joel Edgerton in, dude?
I don't know, but where I was going with it was I
Yeah.
think Dave Bautista would have done an amazing job at that role.
Nah, dog. Joel Edgerton.
I don't know. He was fine, but I just felt like he could have been better, like that role.
That movie was weird.
Well, let me see what else.
'Cause of
he
the
was
fairies?
in. He beat the shit out of the fairy.
Yeah.
Broom. Joel Edgerton. Yeah, there he is, dude. The
That
Gift?
Eminem video is called Pac-Man.
Backman.
Apparently, that's
Came out 2 days
that's
ago.
his response to the response.
Oh, okay.
Ooh.
Because like
Is that the one that
basically everyone was like, "Oh shit, no, Machine Gun Kelly didn't release a retort," and then everyone was like, "Well, now Eminem definitely has to say something because he can't let that shit go fucking 5 minutes with a hook and a
Oh,
chorus."
this one's like disc part 2.
Yeah.
So Eminem started it.
Oh,
Machine Gun Kelly
the
came
fucking
back.
shitty husband in The Great Gatsby.
Can you just give me a picture?
Oh, scroll.
What is this?
I was just looking at his movie lineup, so you know who it is.
He looks familiar.
Yeah,
but-
he should. You've seen plenty of his movies.
Yeah.
That's the orc.
Yeah. No, I mean he was fine.
Give me a see.
It's weird how many like of these crappy movies he's been in though.
Yeah.
um,
He's a pretty up and coming big name.
That doesn't look like him at all.
Joel Edgerton. No, they did a good makeup
no,
job.
that's what I'm saying. Outside of, I didn't know who it was because like.
Well, shave
outside
his
of
head
orc
and
costume.
shave his face. And do a prosthetic.
Yeah, and then put an orc on him.
Mm-hmm.
No, dude, yeah, he was in
Orc
Black
on orc.
Mask. What are you talking about? He was in like Zero Dark 30 and like all sorts of shit.
Yeah. Okay.
Lame.
Dog.
Yeah. Fine. Saying, Dave. Bautista's way
Wow.
better.
Get with the fucking times, man. You know what I watched the other day
What?
for the second time? Infinity War. And it was just as good as the first.
You've only watched it twice.
I was gonna say.
Yeah.
It came out like a month ago. It's been pretty much on repeat. On my
Yeah, no,
TV.
that's like I told my wife,
It came out on digital like August 8th.
Oh, digital.
I've intentionally not bought any Marvel movies because I'm waiting. As soon as Cinematic Phase 1 is done, I'm going to buy all the Phase 1s at the same time. Hopefully in a box set.
Rack up that bill.
That's gonna be expensive.
Probably be like $200, but I'll own all the movies
Yeah.
in
like
4K Blu-ray or
Yeah,
whatever.
that's true.
In a box set.
We were
And
talking
they'll be
about
in
like
order.
I think it would be so poetic if the next movie ended with like Tony Stark sacrificing himself to save like the universe, so he dies to stop Thanos. So my two like
Okay.
opinions is
Okay.
like one is that it started with Tony Stark in Iron Man 1. Like that's how the whole thing started.
I see what you're doing.
So it
here.
would be very poetic if he died to save like the MCU as it is, because he was like kind of like the father of it.
Okay.
Or two, he retires and like he's in the background, so it's like Stark Tech still exists, but he's not in the movies anymore. I feel like they both would be kind of good. Like him and Pepper are now
Because they're gonna have a baby, so he's gonna
Like-
stop being Iron Man.
like him and Pepper just like retire somewhere and like so he'll still tinker and like update Spider-Man's suit for him and stuff. But now they have T'Challa's sister who could kind of take over the tech department in the MCU.
Mm-hmm.
So I think killing him off is the best
way.
thing.
They've
the
already
best thing
they've
for him.
already said who's gonna replace him. It's gonna be a black girl.
That's fine. I don't think Iron Man.
From
She's not going to be Tony Stark. She'll just,
right.
yeah. So
as
from,
Iron Man.
So T'Challa's sister could be that person. She's
Oh,
the
yeah.
tech. She's the tech person.
No. It's gonna be like a young person.
She's pretty young.
Yeah,
Like
she's
they're gonna do it like the Iron Man replacement will be like the same age as the current Spider-Man. Like it'll
Yeah.
be like a new evolution.
And that-
into
that's
a
fine,
New
too.
Iron Man.
I'm all okay with that, but I still think Tony Stark, the person, he should die. Stopping
I
Thanos.
agree with you. I think two people should die.
Who's the other one?
Captain America. The
I think-
first Avenger.
I kind of feel like with Captain America, a more poetic
Spoiler
thing.
alert. He does die in the comics. And so they
yeah.
need to stay true to it. So
And that's
he needs
when
to
Bucky
die.
Barnes takes over.
Correct.
My-
Bucky's going to take over.
My opinion on that, though, that would be very poetic to the movie, is if he hands off the shield to Bucky and he just retires. Because he never had a life, you know? Like, pretty much, he
No, he's
always
gonna die.
wanted to go into war. He kind of did that. He was frozen in ice. He missed out on love and stuff. So I think, like, sending him off with, like, that, whatever that girl was from Civil War, like his neighbor or whatever.
Oh,
That was
yeah.
Civil War. That
that's
was
the,
Winter Soldier.
That was the granddaughter of
Yeah.
Agent Carter.
Have them just like fly off into the sunset and like he just lives his days out.
Nope.
No happy ending.
Nope.
I think that would be so good
No.
for Captain America. Because
No.
that was one of the saddest things
The-
is like when he was finally getting the date with her and then he drove the thing into the
I think
water.
it's gonna.
I got a little teary.
You're.
It was a choice.
I'm pretty sure it's gonna be Captain America that dies and not Iron Man. And I think Iron Man probably will go into retirement type deal, like you said, because it's only 2 deaths would be too much.
They killed like.
They're gonna kill
Yeah, they
Captain
killed, like,
America
half of them in
because
that.
that's how the Soul Stone works. Is a soul for like.
Mm-hmm.
He got the Soul Stone by sacrificing a soul to give him the ability to do what he had to do. And I think when they all faded away, they're in the Soul Stone.
I agree with that.
And that's the only way the Soul Stone is going to release everyone is if somebody selflessly sacrifices themselves, and they probably have to be like pure of heart or something. Some kind of
something
thing
lame,
that only the requirement that only Captain America could fulfill.
Yeah.
Nobody from Russia's fulfilling that shit. Nobody from China. Captain America.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially Chris Evans, Captain America.
Exactly. He's the epitome
Yeah.
of Captain America.
Well, I think it all still comes back to the time stone. You know, because how he was saying there's only one way, and then right before he faded away, he said it was the only way, kind of thing. So that he was playing out the one scenario.
Well, and
Yeah.
two, Captain Marvel's supposed to be like the most powerful.
One of the most powerful.
I think what they said is she's going to be the most powerful in the MCU to date.
Correct.
Like,
Yes.
and then two,
She's definitely stronger than a Titan.
yeah, and then two, like the end of Ant-Man and the Wasp. I feel like
I
there
haven't
was
seen it.
a lot of Easter eggs there that were laid out to what's his name, Scott,
Okay.
about some stuff that was like it didn't fit the movie, but if you take a step back and look at the MCU, it's like that makes perfect sense.
Did Doctor Strange fade away?
Yeah.
He has to come, like, he comes back because there's a Doctor Strange 2 in
Well,
it.
and Spider-Man faded away, and there's Spider-Man Far From Home is like the sequel that,
To Homecoming.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
That,
Well, are
and
we
Tom
sure that
Holland,
doesn't-
Tom Holland like released this like a picture of him holding the script, and I bet you anything Kevin Feige was like, "Dang it, who gave Tom Holland the title of the movie?" Because he just
He
was
knew he
like
was gonna
posted a
split.
picture, was like, "Hey guys, I'm filming the new Spider-Man movie."
Do we know if that's going to be before the events of Infinity War?
I would have to assume it'd have to be after, just because of the fact that Civil War he'd only had like the
They're
things
really
for
the
6
only ones
months.
surviving past that.
I think you'll see Guardians will continue on, but just with different faces.
Yeah, the
like-
Guardians will get swapped out.
All right, the Guardians will get swapped out. Scarlet Witch is still fairly new. I could see
I
Vision.
don't think she's gonna get a standalone, and neither will Vision.
No, they won't get standalones. They're definitely support characters.
They'll be in support
Black
of the new
Panther will
Avengers.
definitely have a second one.
Yes.
Captain Marvel will definitely have a second one.
Yeah.
I could see Ant-Man having a third one,
Yeah.
like another movie.
I think it's kind of like doing its own thing. It doesn't really have to tie into.
But I honestly feel if you watch Ant-Man and the Wasp,
You can tie it in
his involvement is probably going to be very critical to
Infinity. Well,
to
he
the
he
next
wasn't
Avengers
in
movie.
he wasn't in Infinity War 1. He will be in Infinity War 2 because
Right.
basically they scrape together anybody and everybody,
Right.
and then you get Captain Marvel.
But that's what I'm saying.
who
Ant-Man and
shows
the
up.
Wasp is like I think it's going to be him and Captain Marvel type of thing that like come together just based off of like things that they hint at.
Yeah,
Ant-Man and
he's
the Wasp.
probably a part of the new Avengers,
Right,
which
yeah.
will come in Phase 2.
I
Because
think-
you won't lose the Avengers; they'll just be new Avengers,
right.
and most of the people.
But I
won't
feel like
really
some
be
of the
there.
characters like Falcon can go. I always have a problem with like just like regular people like Iron Man's different because he had like a suit that he put on,
and
like
War
War
Machine gets
very
a pass.
similar.
Yeah,
But Falcon is literally he just has wings. Hawkeye,
kind of
Black Widow.
Yeah,
It's like, come on. Like Bruce Banner, like what does he do that's awesome? Besides like yell at himself, no way.
no.
And it's like you're useless now.
Yeah,
We don't care about Bruce Banner, the scientist. We care
Thor
about
will
the Hulk.
continue on. Thor
Yeah.
will be actually.
And I think Thor, honestly, he had a rough start, but in Ragnarok and in Infinity War, just killed it as his performance.
Yep.
Like the whole like when he meets the Guardians and he's talking about like his dad died, he had to kill his sister, and then he just watched his brother die. And he's like, "What about your mom? Oh yeah, she was killed by an elf." Like it just that whole scene is just
Are
like,
you ready for this? Yeah, I'm fine.
I'm fine. It's like okay, yeah.
This is good.
It was
My buddy did the what's the guy, Greg
yeah, the Gronk or
Gronk,
what's his name?
but he was like,
The stone guy, the rock guy. It's like Gonk
yeah,
or something.
but
like
he
that.
was like, old Greg
Oh,
died.
yeah.
Hello, new Greg.
Yeah.
Oh, it's Doug.
Doug,
yeah.
Doug.
Another day, another Doug.
Another day, another Doug. Oh, hey, new Doug.
But that's one thing that we always do now is we're just like, hey, I'm gonna jump into that car and go to lunch. Want to come? Like, Drell does it more. Obviously,
Yeah,
at lunch,
and
but-
without Thor Ragnarok, you wouldn't
yeah.
have that.
Nope,
Yeah.
you wouldn't have that.
Thor Ragnarok.
Yeah, that guy was just great.
Yeah. I love
After
this
Loki like sees him in the prison, he leaves. He runs over and tries to kick it. He's like, "Damn ghost!" Like,
Tried to start a revolution.
But-
Didn't print enough
But
pamphlets.
Drac is that equivalent for the Guardians, man.
yeah,
He's fucking great.
he's awesome. If I stand perfectly still, you cannot see me.
Damn it.
I don't find him that funny.
Oh, he's
actually.
great.
Oh,
and
I
then
love
the
him.
Mantis chick,
Mantis
she's
is
pretty
pretty
funny
good
too.
too, yeah.
Their duo in Guardians 2
Right.
was great.
We're gonna kick some names and take some ass.
Yeah.
Tony's just like staring at him like, right.
Yeah. Excuse me, are you yawning during this? Yeah, I stopped listening when you said plan.
Yeah, we're gonna
That's
take
great.
that plan. We're gonna
Yeah.
not do what is it?
No, it's a good plan.
It's a good
except
plan.
It
Except it
sucks.
sucks. So why don't we let me do the plan and then it might actually be good.
Yeah, that's it. Damn. Fail quotes.
Yeah.
Good thing
No,
I
I-
got you guys.
Peter Quill, like that was one of my favorite meetups.
Oh,
Like, you
yeah.
have Peter Quill and Tony Stark. It was just
And Doctor Strange
And
all
Doctor
in the
yeah.
same deal with Spider-Man off on the side.
Yep.
Like great.
I just like
Oh, we're
to
doing
like when
we're doing superhero
Yeah.
names.
I'm Spider-Man.
Which is funny because it's really Doctor Strange. is his
Yeah.
name.
Well, it's not. His name isn't Doctor Strange.
Yeah, it is. His last name is Strange.
His name is Stephen Strange. Who
But he's a
happens to be a
doctor.
doctor.
But
So
it's
he.
Doctor Strange.
Yeah,
No,
so
I
he's
agree, but-
Doctor Strange.
Yeah, I agree. You're right. It's not a made up
That's
name.
the irony. Of it.
But it's just.
It's not Doctor Doom,
his,
all right.
his name isn't Doctor. Like, what's it say on the birth certificate?
That's what I was
Doctor.
telling somebody the other day was now that Disney bought Fox?
FX. Yeah.
FX, the Fox
The
movie
Fox movie
studio,
studio, yeah.
and they got all those rights to all those missing